Chapter 70, A Question, a Request. Interesting place. Whoops. My room from 2 decades and a half ago. Messy as ever. This is the day when I first played Skyrim. I could see my past self sitting like a noob and starting TSV, Skyrim, for the first time. The amount of knowledge in this memory is more than expected. Please give me time to process it. Boy oh boy. If you lagged on me now, I might have to go through childhood all over again, you know. Not nice, Augur, not nice. The process is complete. I must admit, I didn't see that coming. Listen, if we are talking about the maze of new folders in my PC, then please, that was a long time ago. I started to only watch online after a short time from this memory. I have no understanding of what you are talking about. I was actually expecting something less. Weren't you the all-knowing almighty entity a while ago? There are limits for even me when it comes to divination. But I can read it from your memories now. I hope you don't get any Terminator weird ideas from the movies I watch. More importantly, what is that? Oh, this goes like this. I started explaining the game to Augur. The me from the memory was watching the game's first cutscene that occurs in Helgen. I felt a bit of sad when I looked at the past me. Back at that time, I wasted a lot of time on gaming and was a bit of a shut-in. It affected my relationships and social interactions for a long time. I also didn't have friends. Well, thanks to the reincarnation, I have no internet or social media, so I have to entertain myself and socialize the normal way for humans. Thanks to that, I had a great second chance of childhood. Back to the current events, the light ball, aka Augur, was watching and analyzing everything on his own, so I didn't need to explain anything to him. After all, we are in my brain. Will the past you keep changing the character's appearance that much? Yes, the character creation normally takes some time, wait for it. 2 hours later. I swear, I don't remember staying that long creating my first character. It's probably the nose. Always the damn nose. Do you know people get this weird feeling in their noses when they edit the character's nose? I forgot. You are a ball of light after all. You don't even have a nose. 1 hour later. Taking 3 hours to create a character. Yep, sounds like me. Now, where were we? Helgen is smaller than the real version of it. Wait until you see Whiterun. That time, my family's farm was larger than it. The magic is really simplified, and like the college, it excluded mysticism. Smart move from the game. Stupid from the college. This effect menu is a good idea. Indeed, but too long. We started going into a heated discussion. The Augur said before that by losing his flesh, he lost all sorts of mortal desire. It was clearly obvious from the way he spoke. He normally uses fluent language to hide his lack of emotions and to not freak people out. In my opinion, this is a survival instinct. He realizes that he shouldn't freak people out, else it would lead to his demise. Same goes for his desire to exist and staying alive with no physical body and to seal his destroyed astral body, that also made his desires obvious. Moreover, to exist is to have a purpose. There is something he is after, and that's why he needs to exist. Maybe gathering knowledge or trying to recreate a mortal body once again, or maybe achieve the Chim and become a godly existence. One can't just think of how many possibilities that the Augur might be after. Such a logical thinking. Get out of my head, and stop talking like a machine. The calculations proved that you may appreciate it that way. This is really tiring. After the first memory, we passed from one to another and from my old family house to the apartment in Alexandria. I could feel the same feelings of the space of the memory. And damn, there is nothing like Alexandria in summer. The sea breeze is amazing. If you like it this much, I recommend visiting the area of Iliac Bay or Somerset Isle. You became one talkative fellow, didn't you? Did my brain affected you that much? Gotta admit, I feel proud. I see that you liked to play the game more than one time by changing the things you refer to as mods. But what exactly is that thing flying in the game? That? Thomas the Tank Engine. Isn't that supposed to be a dragon? Well, there is no limit for imagination when you are a modder, right? This took some bloody long time. I was worried, but the augur told me that the time flow in my brain is much faster than real time. The augur asked for many information to gather. It took him 2 brainy days to gather all what he wanted. I moot complain about the lack of that scientific knowledge in your memories. There are indeed many good memories, but they will need many years of work on and analyze all of them. Weren't we here for the information about the game? We finished that a long time ago. Excuse my rudeness, but I was in awe of the otherworldly knowledge you carry. It proved of immensely high value. Invaluable, I would say. If it was the mortal me, I am sure I would be shaking from excitement and wonder. Yep, just what I needed. This is seriously scary. I knew why the protagonists from the novels don't show off their past life origins. Still, I stupidly had to do it. Actually, I was a bit desperate. I don't know what is going on with my body, and this blue ball of light is taking it easy in my head, gathering all sorts of data. Please don't be alarmed. I am not seeking any harm. I also plan to repay the knowledge I obtained with the thing that you need. Thank you, but do that before you turn from blue to red and start calling yourself Skynet. Please give me a second. We will be out of the memory tunnel in no time. If you are going to talk like a machine, say it with a countdown. My head hurts. Why my head hurts? The piece of fluorescent took me to a memory trip before I get myself ready. And my body fell before I take a good position. Now, I guess it is my time to answer questions. My body. The physical body is perfectly healthy. That astral body, however, is where the problem lies. I am listening. Imagine a cup made of glass and filled with a liquid. The light falls onto the cup and it gives an image for the lookers. The same theory works for the relationship between the soul, the astral body, and the physical body. But there are few twists. Okay. The soul is the liquid that fills the cup is the astral body that contains the soul, the physical body is that image reflected by both. What do you think may happen if any of the 3 experienced a change? The other will have the same change. Not quite accurate, but generally yes. The changes vary in effect, and some can cause no harm because the effect is easy to deal with. For example, if a damage was caused to the physical body, then a healing spell was cast to undo it. How exactly does the spell know that these cells can be regenerated? The answer is quite simple. The astral body is the ghost of the physical body. They resemble each other in image. The spell simply copies the information from that astral body and apply the healing this way. So what if the wound was left with no generation or healing? It would appear as a scar, cause the same image to appear on that astral body and be permanent. That's what I meant by few twists. The image may not affect the object, but the object affects the image. Yet in our example they both affect each other, as this was nothing but an example. Returning to the subject, what about my case? Your case and mine are close, didn't you already make a guess? My astral body is being affected by the magicka I absorbed. Not quite accurate. The energy you gather by your so-called cultivation is affecting your soul. The soul has many different kinds of energies like the magicka, the vitality, and the essence you use to shout the Thursdayum. Every being has these different kinds of energies and they are easily can be transmuted into each other. From there comes the aspects of magic. One of the rules is that the energies must be in harmony with one another. If one increased in an alarming rate like your magicka, the other energies, especially the vitality, will try to keep up. I remember. When the protagonists of the cultivation novels increased their energy too fast, they have to go into seclusion to stabilize that much energy they gathered into their dantian or whatever. Exactly. Your past world has a good understanding to energies. But wait a second. By the time I started cultivating, shouldn't the vitality keep up at least some bit with the magicka? Here where things started going out of your hand. You always cultivated the magicka between heaven and earth, but one time you broke the habit. One time. I normally cultivated my own way and didn't chan. No. There was one time. That time. The Elder Gleam Sanctuary. That is right. You cultivated from a source of high-grade magicka. You enriched your magicka to the point that the other energies in your soul didn't get the chance to follow up. Unlike me, who gathered more liquid than what my cup could handle, you gathered a liquid that your cup may shatter from how heavy it is. Fuck me. Don't get alarmed. You can stabilize by time, and you can heal your astral damage. I get the seriousness, but what about the troll's vitality problem? This is already that bad. I still have to know everything. Problem? Didn't you get it already? Huh. Get what? This is the solution, not the problem. Huh. The troll's vitality is a high-grade vitality, not as high-grade as the magicka from the Elder Gleam of course, but it is one of the highest in grade between the living. No creatures have vitality like trolls. Huh. So you're saying that I should go chain up some trolls and drag them around for vitality source. You can take care of that as you see fit. This is actually weird. I mean, doing that to trolls can be considered animal brutality, but trolls has evil nature and appearance. Even their meat is not edible and their blood can be used for poisons. Their skulls are useful for magical purposes too. There is a wide variety of trolls in the world, and some of them can be as strong as giant. I don't think it would be considered a torture if I just go on troll hunting and absorb their vitality in the process. Okay, let's do that. So to stabilize the magicka, I need to cultivate the vitality from a certain source. It will increase my physical power and make me stronger. But what about the stamina? You look at the vitality from the game's perspective as the health, or what you prefer to call HP. This is an idea that the game creators from your world came up with to give the game more attribute. But in reality this is a bit different. Think of vitality as both stamina and health. How vitality works is simple. You lose stamina and your endurance lessens until a critical point where your health starts getting affected, and upon death the vitality itself crumbles. So it is like that. It's indeed logical. But didn't the troll's essence potion increase my stamina that time? It was a temporary buff. The area of effect was your thank you. I don't want to hear from you. This guy is truly an emotionless machine. So, Mr. Augur, returning back to the talk about the 3 components of a mortal thingy. If someone lost a limb, then it would affect both the physical body and the astral body, but the soul will remain intact. Does this mean that for old injuries, if we healed the astral body, will the physical body be healed according to it? It is correct. It will regrow limbs and heal old injuries. Not just that, you can add or alter other functions from the astral body directly to cause an effect to the physical body, something like upgrading your body or your species. Isn't this the same for vampires and werewolves? Correct. In the vampire case, you change the vitality components, but that can be manipulated easily by a vampirism infection. Same goes for wercreatures. They are a combination of 2 astral bodies. Damn. And this conversation will lead us to the request you wanted. Right. The request, I need your help desperately, and you know why. Indeed you need it, and in normal circumstances I wouldn't do such a thing if I have no benefit. But I started to see a benefit in helping you. And also, consider it as a repayment for the immense knowledge from your world that I gained from your memories. Thank you. Your soul is indeed different from normal mortals. It is not even black to begin with, but it has the same general properties. It will be much easier for me to do the next process. It will be just like the thing with the work creatures. I had a question and a request when I came to this place. The question is about my physical condition, but the request is about something different. I was worried. If a small entity like the augur can read my mind and know about my truth, what will the bigger entities do? Just think about it. If a Daedric prince like Hermias Mora, the one known as the Demon of Knowledge, which the hero from the game had encountered many times, what will such an entity do to gain all the knowledge about a different world from my head? What about Molag Bal, Maroons Dagon, or even Bothia? They would covet such knowledge. Much worse, if they can find a way to travel to Earth, how can the consequences be like? I can't risk a meeting with any one of them this soon. Your fears are a bit too much. I don't think that your past world is something to worry about. I myself don't understand how you got here. What you have to worry about is something else. What is that? Your knowledge. These simple facts that you learned in that high school, and these incredible documentaries you watched. Do you realize how many theories they debunk in this world? Do you know that the knowledge you see simple is a way to see the world from a completely different perspective? Even the truth about Eteda original spirits, and how they became the Edra, Daedra and Magna Gu as we know. Also the truth about the sun and the stars. If any being found about this information, it will lead them to either fear it or covet it. Regarding the reaction, it won't end well for you. I guess I understand that. So will you be able to block the strong beings from seeing in my head? Blocking them is unwise. If you want to make sure that something can't be stolen, then hide it in where they least expect. Don't put it in a safe that can be easily unlocked. Delvin said that. I will make your memories appear normal and will hide them under another memories. In return, I want you to support me with some information from the outside world. I will also see that your growth and development stay monitored under no danger from experiencing another astral damage or any cultivation side effect. Oh, thank you. But how are you going to do that when you can't leave the place here? I have developed an idea, but it will need someone open-minded to try it with. And it is. With the aspects of soul, divination, and detection, I created a powerful spell known as astral projection. Suddenly, a small ball of light came from the big one, augur, and floated beside it. Oh, look at him, resembles his daddy. This is merely an out-of-body experience. Yeah, I remember reading about it in some novels. This is an extension to my astral body. It will merge into your astral body. You said something about solving it like the war creatures. Are you saying you are making me a were-augur? This extension will merge with your astral body and will hide your memories by creating a fake front above them. It will also keep the Daedric princes from knowing that you are allying with their enemies, unlike that unrealistic game you played. If you went Bothia after being an agent to Molag Bal, you won't gain her favor. For last thing, benefit will be applying some of the game knowledge I gained from you to monitor your growth. I understand the first two, but how will you do the last one? Easy. Let me merge my astral extension with you and you will see. Fine. The smaller ball of light shot in me, and I felt no charge at all. Everything is complete. Showing your status. Name: John Dare / John Hild Firemain. Race: Human, Nord. Age: 15. Level: 17. Attributes: Health: 140/140. Stamina: 100 out of 100. Magicka: 520/520. Magic: plus mysticism, plus alterations, plus conjunction, plus destruction, plus illusion, plus restoration, plus powers, plus Thursdayum. Active effect: astral damage, 19%. Is that? Chapter 71 Hooman, Are you kidding me? In your memories, you complained about not having a system for a long time when you got reincarnated. Yeah, I remember. Got me really bad back in the day. I always wanted a system when I was in the orphanage. When I didn't get one, so I felt really cheated. Well, systems were for those who got a planned reincarnation by gods, unlike me who mysteriously died and mysteriously got reborn somewhere. Still, it is weird to get a system this way this late. But you said that you can't get away from your power source. Would your astral extension be okay if I decided to visit elsewhere someday? Yes, my astral extension is only there to help you. I can locate and contact it using telepathy wherever you are. After all, that astral link is the strongest kind of link. Still, I tend to believe that there is no free meal in this world. You protect me and provide me growth guidance. Was there really so much valuable information in my head? More than you think. I can access the deepest parts of your memories and bring out things you don't even remember. But still you could hide that and just not bother, pretend that there is little to do with my memories. If I were you, I would do that. You are giving me a system and you even go out of your way to justify helping me. What are you really going to gain from that? You already have all you want from me. You understand me, right? I know there is something you are not telling me. I am not someone who takes everyone with goodwill. I learned that lesson the hard way. Please clarify. You can read my mind, so there is no way you don't understand me. I am sure of it. You figured something out. Yes, he did. I can't see his face, or I can detect his emotions, but he found something. You figured the reason about my reincarnation, right? We were silent for a long time. I don't know, but I was staring at the ball of light and I felt he was staring back at me. It was a staring contest of sort. We understand each other and there is something important. Very important he found out. Fine. I admit I figured most of it out. The augur actually gave up first. I knew it. I was sure of it. There are few things I don't know about myself, but the most mysterious thing is my reincarnation. Did you figure out the reason? Mostly. How do you want me to say it? Don't sugarcoat it. As you wish. My theory depends on two parts. The first part you guessed it mostly correct. You mean, as you said it once conditions were met. To make it more easy to understand, the idea of your VR headset works similarly to that of the out-of-body experience. That ability allows the user to get a part of his soul or consciousness out of his body and put OT into a device to make it experience an virtual reality. That happens when you send your mind into the game. It carries the information you submitted as the general information you want your character to have. The soul embraced the information as it belongs to it, and it happens that there was a different person that was largely similar to it in the information content that time. This was the 1-year-old John Hild Firemane. Once that was there, you could easily merge with him. Merge. Exactly. You may never think of it as merging or see it as you replaced him, but the real John Hild is still in there. He is not sleeping or anything, but due to his age, his mental power or memories can never suppress yours, as your mental age that time was 25 years older than his, and he just merged with the reincarnated you mentally. Still, he is there. He shows up in critical moments when it comes to his family. Remember that day when Senior Nerina gave you that amulet of Talos? Your mental age was already 35. Even when you found out that Hilda was your birth mother, you shouldn't have really cared. But you did. And it took its toll on you. Your unnatural hunger for power increased drastically, and the real John Hild started to put some rules. You are not that lawyer from before. You also are not John Hild. You are something new. Maybe something was never seen before. This was the first half of the theory behind your reincarnation, the one that is easy to figure out. What about the other? This is the part one I'm not sure of. But no one is almighty enough in this world to summon a soul from another world except for the Etiata, the original spirits or what people like to call gods. So you are saying that an Edra or a Daedra pulled me here? Yes, and it was a cunning move. It is the only possible way, and it was done by an Etiata that is very expert when it comes to souls. And you are helping me for. You are wrong. I am helping the Etiata who brought you here. Please don't take it the wrong way. I am helping you either way, but I am extending more helping hands to my benefit too. I get it. So you simply want to carry favor with that Etiata? To what end? A happy one. Guess I was right. He wants a way out of his misery too. Whatever. I would have done the same. So, you have any idea which god did it? I am not expert in gods. Few is known about the Daedra, less about the Edra, and the Magna Go are mysterious. Well, that sucks. I understand getting your fate sealed by another is terrible, but maybe in your case you get guided to a bigger fate. That guidance. It is what you are after. You are starting to see my point. So please, make full use of the astral extension. I'll sever the connection between it and me and will let you be in control it so you worry not about your privacy. It will have a limited amount of intelligence and will keep you updated with your condition and status. Beside hiding the important parts of your memory, it will have a function to open a telepathic connection with me if you needed anything. Useful. But that depressed me. I wanted nothing to do with the gods of this world, and now they come to my doorstep. Depressing. I think I don't want to think about this anymore. Yes, let's not do that. I'll bury my head under sand for now. It's not anything useful, but it is all I can do regarding that matter. No matter how powerful I am, I can't face this problem alone. And without a being like the augur, no one will understand my situation. I don't know what Nerina may think, but Hilda may think of me as a demon invaded her son's body. I am afraid if I think about this for too long, I may have an identity crisis soon. Sigh. I'll just bury me head under sand and stop thinking about depressing stuff. But now that I think about it, I was expecting that you may have some sort of reaction when you find out about the game and its relation to the world. I mean, you appeared in it and you encountered the main character twice. It is indeed incredible and mysterious. Many things don't add up in that part. It may be the work of an Etiads or an Elder Scrolls, as these are the only ones capable to transmit such an amount of information to another world. I still can't imagine Todd Howard using an Elder Scroll to get prophecies and create the game. Though it would explain why he always says, it just works. Todd Howard is an American video game designer, director, and producer. He currently serves as director and executive producer at Bethesda Game Studios, the company that brought us the Elder Scrolls and Fallout games. Sigh. How depressing. Before I go, what are the full functions of the system? And can you upgrade it? You can access it with your inner will, and yes, the window you see is nothing but an illusion that shows my analysis of your body, ability, energy, and mentality, so it's editable. Its functions and upgrades are also bound by your current ability and spells you can use. I think that's cool. Let's see. Name: John Dare/John Hild Firemain. Race: Human, Nord. Age 15. Level 17. Attributes: Health 140/140. Stamina 100 out of 100. Magicka 520/520. Magic plus mysticism plus alterations plus conjunction plus destruction plus illusion plus restoration plus powers plus Thursdayum. Active effect: Astral damage 19%. This baby lacks the map, a media player, a screenshot function. Okay. Why did these windows show up when I thought about them? They were already there. As I said, your ability with magic allowed them to be. Seriously? Good augur. We are definitely best buds. Do I get inventory too? Space magic is nothing to just think of using easily, but you should be able to do it on your own one day. Okay, my names are there, my race and age which have completely no use, and level 17? What is that about? I made a small calculation and it appeared that the level thing can be calculated by understanding how much the individual can bring out strength. It is not a solid piece information, but it can be understood by the energy from within you. It is not accurate, but when the system alerts you of a higher level enemy, you should be prepared. I see. The attributes now. HP 140? SP 100? MP 520? What's wrong with that? It is so broken, or you didn't make it like the game did. No, it is actually based on very accurate calculations. The health and stamina may look pitiful, but your astral damage has affected them. Also, you are young and not fully grown yet. To reach that point in attributes is already something monstrous. My magicka is something to vex people with. Your magicka is higher than wizards and a bit less than master wizards. Maybe he is right. So I have a 19% astral damage condition. That's scary. This may take a lot of trolls to heal it. And the magic section is so neatly organization. Let's see. Magic times mysticism. Play button magicka outer control. Play button detection. Play button force. Play button soul. Play button necromancy. Play button divination. Play button inner magicka control. Plus alterations, plus conjunction, plus destruction, plus illusion, plus restoration, times powers. Racial. War cry, buff allies, scare foes. Son of Skyrim, resist frost. Standing stone, shadow stone. Hide in shadows, sneak buff. Blur, combat speed buff. Blood lineage, fire main. Resi's fire, offline. Offline. Plus Thursdayum. This feels like some sort of phone application. Animated menu effects and all. But what's with that? Augur, in the blood lineage submenu of the powers menu, there are some things that looks weird. What is with that offline and? In rare occasions, people are born with a blood lineage, and sometimes it needs a special condition to get activated. I could detect it within you, but it is unknown, so it was recorded like this? I would love to share something with those crazy Firemain folk, but if it activates something like the Manjiku Sharingan, then I am giving up. I didn't sign up for a tragedy novel. But why is the resist fire is offline too? It gives you a high resistance to fire, but it is not completely activated too. Once it gets activated, it will be a fearsome ability. Hidden lineage ability, fire-related lineage, family shares a hair color. This is going very much Uchiha Kaon scenario. Well, I guess that's all there is to it, huh? I said and closed all these windows, even though your moral compass is not working right, but I guess you helped me there. I am grateful for your help. I turned around and was about to leave, but before you enter the midden, you punched a boy who was guarding the entrance. He is looking for you with his friends all over the place now. I'll just walk through them. Literally, if they cause me headache. What are they doing in the midden anyway? Most students come for experimenting. The kind that the college doesn't allow. Everyone knows that, but why are they so secretive to even position an official guard on the door? Their experiments are breaking many rules. In particular, they are experimenting on WTF. Seriously, WTF. These sick bastards. I am going after them one after the other. I will haunt their ghosts if they died on my hand. No, I will not kill them. But they will beg for it. I am pissed to the extreme right now. The augur told me something that made me nearly caw out blood. These sick bastards are so fucking done for. So done for that the Dunfornist itself is not a way for them to escape what I will do to them. I ran out of the augur's room after he told me what was going on. To think these bastards dare, right here and under my nose. This will be so freaking crazy. I remember something like that happened once in the Ratway. I went berserk on two guys who did a similar act and almost unmanned them. This is one of the reasons I was called Catatosker. Even Big Sis Vex, who scares the hell out of me, couldn't stop me when I lost it. They were just some of Mercer's boys, so no one actually gave a shit afterwards. Now, I conjured 8 bone men. This is all I can muster right now. Aura of Madness was casted as a cloak spell. Now let's find these bastards. I evoked Scan and looked everywhere I can. System, put the MP and map on view, keep them mini. Mark any hostile as a red dot, mark the packages as a blue dot. MP 417/520. Asterisk map asterisk. The system, which is the astral extension of the augur, is pretty simple. It can function as a simple computer system. The augur himself took a liking on the electronic era and is studying it thoroughly by now. I hope that he just remain blue and not turn red. Call himself Skynet. Speaking of Skynet, I am on a terminating quest now. And I almost forgot I am angry. Hostiles detected. Get him. I commanded my undead. He's over here. Get him. Don't let him run. What is the undead? Too many. Run. No. Shoot them in the thighs. On my command, the undead started shooting arrows in the darkness. They could see, but those filthy criminals were falling like flies before they even know it. It was hectic, but one thing calmed me down. Packages located. Finally! I found them. POV. Scared. Dark. Alone. Friends crying. Bad people. What dat? Noise. People. People come again. Many noise. Big noise. People. People coming. No. Run. Run. Scary people. Go away. People fight people. Food fight. Me not food. People crazy. People be crazy eat me. No. Scary. Bad people no fight more. Bad. Too bad. One coming. Hooman. Go away. Me strong. Bite you. Poor things, what did they want to do to you? The monsters. Hooman speak. Hooman's rattle. Why Hooman speak? Here, come here. I can't take you out here or you will run everywhere. I'll take you in the cage. Don't worry. You will be out soon. Hooman speak again? Hear that? You hear that? No. You don't. You hear Hooman talk? No too. Why I only hear Hooman speak. I hear Hooman talk. Hooman cat talk. Hooman weird. Chapter 72 Nefertiti. I found 6 cats in a cage. 2 were hurt and the rest were fine. But they were mostly afraid except for a little black kitten. They were even planning to experiment on such a little thing. This is unforgivable. These fucktards are actually this bold to use the college's sentry cats as experimental material. These assholes. I am infuriated from how brutal this experiment was. They wanted to train on illusion and healing on cats. Some evidence even pointed to a necromancy research, but it is a widely known fact that necromancy doesn't work on cat. Aren't there skeevers and rats all over the place? More than that, isn't it against the rules to even adopt the sentry cats, let alone harm them? They are part of the security in the college, as I heard. I once requested to adopt one, but I was told that only a scholar and above in rank can adopt them privately. Yet those criminals wanted to use them in experiment. Fine. No good deeds go unrewarded, no bad deeds go unpunished. My undead have secured all the criminals. They are mostly apprentices like me. 4 of them in addition to the evoker guard, which I punched before I enter the midden. Now, what should I do with you? Bastard! I dare you show your FAC. Wea. Bugs should not speak. They can only be stepped on. Their thighs had arrows, but they didn't bleed that much. The kick was perfect to caused more pain. Which team you shitheads are from? They remained silent. Fine. I evoked a spell and they got alert. When I cast it, void distorted and a figure emerged. Mortal, be done with it. Sigh. A cocky one. I don't know why Draymora churls like him make such a fuss, even though they are nothing but weaklings. I even had to banish 4 of the 8 bone men to bound him better. Gods. Is that? Conjurer can summon a Draymora? Is he a scholar? Draymora. You mean those Daedra? They got terrified from a mere churl. Churls doesn't dress themselves in the usual game's Daedric armor. They are just the rabble of the Draymora clans, so they just wear a plain black armor that is less sinister. Sheath your blade and use your fist. Beat them up until they start singing. What? No killing? Let's see about it when they tell me what I want. I left the churl with these 5 and walked back to the place I left the cat. I started putting some effort into healing them. Hostile detected. What is going on here? I heard a voice. It was a girl's voice. What now? Even a girl was involved in hurting cats. Sigh. Such a cruel world. I was already done with the cats, so I left them in the cage and went to see who came. Senior, save us. He will kill us. These wimps started crying to a girl. Hopeless. When I looked at her, I saw 2 other boys with her, and I started to recognize her. Nyrenal, you shithead. These were your club members after all. Should have known. Who are you? She didn't recognize me. Of course I was wearing a hood. Nyrenal was the Breton girl who tried to invite me to her team back in the rank-up exam. She started to say some bullshit about elitism and whatnot. I had to kick Ordhorn's balls to make a statement around the college to avoid that kind of headache. This was the first and the last time she involved herself with me. I knew that she has a very troublesome personality, and she likes to disregard the rules more than anything. Are you aware that your club members were experimenting on the sentry cats? She looked at me carefully and looked at the Draymora I conjured. She was trying to come up with the best plan for battle. And what's it to you? She replied with a stare. Nothing, I just like cats. Look, you seem like a good guy, but don't overestimate yourself. JST, because you can conjure a Draymora churl and found few skeletons around doesn't mean you can do anything. You are alone and there is little you can do against the 3 of us. Why don't you just leave and we will pretend this never happened? Seriously now? Acting like this with me? Fine. I'll play along. Okay. I'll take the cats and leave. I said that, then turned around, exposing my back to her. And just like the idiot she is, she tried to take the chance and attack me. Just when she cast ice spikes at me, I was already covering my back with a reflect ward. When the spell landed, it got reflected back at her, but she avoided it nimbly. Cute. Is that what a so-called elitist student can do? Together, Nyrenal and the 2 goons accompanying her started casting all sorts of spells at me. It may overwhelm me if I face them without using a trump card, but if I used one, my identity may get exposed. I don't want to cause a mess anyway. I only put the ward ahead of me and retreated behind a corner, then ordered the undead to stall for time. I also had to banish the Draymora hastily, as I can barely command him anyway. We will teach him a lesson. Don't let him run and be careful. He is powerful. Nyrenal started making her plan. Oh, I am being put in high regards. I don't think I can just play around anymore, can I? Of course, going all out here will result a disaster. If I used my new spell Thunder Cookie, I will cause a big destruction. It's an expert level spell and my strongest spell after all. Even though I was behind a corner, they can't just go after me blindly, so I didn't feel any pressure against them. I'll just cast Aura of Madness again. Upon doing that, they felt it was an illusion attack and retreated hastily. I followed them with frenzy spell that blasted on the 5 boys I fought before. Just as it landed, their eyes turned insane and started using their arms to beat each other, forgetting about the healing process they were in. No. Quickly dispel it. Nyrenal saw that and commanded one of her goons to help their fallen comrades. This was the opening I needed. I changed to chain lightning and cast it on the other goon beside her as he was clearly distracted. The chain lightning landed on him and bounced on Nyrenal, then the other goon. That was boringly easy. I quickly conjured the bone men and commanded them to surround the fallen newcomers. Was that all the elitism you have? I was prepared for more, you know? They were looking at me with fear, but Nyrenal was looking with hate. This girl is full of darkness. Who answers the questions politely will take less beating, I said as I started cracking my fingers. It didn't take long. They already said everything. Nyrenal, however, didn't utter a single word and kept looking at me as if I am the murderer of her kin or something. Her darkness is something to behold. After finishing up with them, I went back to the cats and carried the cage, leaving those lowly faults of creation behind. A few minutes later I arrived above ground. It felt as if I was coming from a grave. Okay, ladies and gents, at the end of our ride. Here you go. I opened the cage for the cats and got them out. I was getting healed. The last cat was a super cute black kitten. I know, right? Black cats are hardly seen cute by most cultures and beliefs, but this one has big blue eyes on a big head and a small body. She was just so flipping cute. She, however, had no number collar like the other college cat. She probably is still young, so they left her without one. But she was undoubtedly a sentry cat. Strange thing is, the mage sentry cats are not this black. I can tell she is one because of her big ears. The sentry cats are very similar to the Egyptian Mao breed in the terms of color and personality. The only difference is their large ears that are similar to the Devon Rex breed. Before I even do anything, this kitten just ran from the cage and clung on me. Yes, heal me more. Such a good girl. I would give you some milk and dried fish if I have any. Meow. I hope I can, little one. It's just that the college will bust my ass if I openly broke the rules. Meow. Your Hooman? If it is like that, then we will fight them together. Don't worry, your Hooman won't let them harm you ever again. Meow. You are welcome, hee. This cat said some nice words of encouragement to me. Even if it is Alduin World Eater, I'll kick his spiky ass no problem right now. Anyway, I am still not done. I have to go and file a request for adopting to this kitten and report what happened in the midden. It will be a bit of a mess, but I will solve it no matter what. Me and the kitten agreed on this. Now that I think about it, did this cat just talk to me? She said I am her Hooman after all. I guess it makes sense. Still, I feel that I missed something somewhere or somehow. Something just felt like it was strange. I'll just go report the incident of today. I went to the place where they house the cats and take care of them. It is a small office near the Hall of Countenance. It was already late at night, but they were still open. I excused myself and talked with the staff. They complained about me going out at the curfew time and carrying the kitten. I don't know what is wrong with these people. This kitten said I am her Hooman. Isn't this enough for them? The argument continued for at least an hour. They finally said that they will take the request but will have to get permission for it from the higher-up. Like I care. Apparently she is 2 months old, had no mother, didn't get a collar or a number, and a very playful one. That's why she got caught when she strayed around the college. Anyway, after I reported the incident down in the midden, the atmosphere turned serious and they made me sign on the report too. I reported the numbers of the cats I found. Their numbers were written on their collars, so it was easy to remember them. It seemed there have been some similar incident. Well, I'll just take the kitten and go now. I want to clean this little one and feed her. Jul's reaction was priceless. She kept looking at the kitten as if she found her archenemy. When I went into my room, I kept looking for some stuff for the kitten. I found some dried fish and water, a pot to wash her and all. She was just adorable. I know how moody cats can be, but this little one is just too good. I started thinking about a good name for her. So, what do you think, Cleopatra? Is it good? Meow. No? Okay, Isis, Nebbit? Meow. Pretty one? You're so picky. Hebony? Amty? Still no. She doesn't like pharaonic names. Fine, how about Nefertiti? And we'll call you TT for short? Meow. Well, that's it then. She agreed to it. Couldn't help but pat her few times. TT is so easy to converse with, unlike some humans and most elves. Were you talking with it just now? Jolinar asked. TT is a she, and yes, it is easy. Try it. I don't think I can. Why? This is really easy. But she was just meowing. No, she was talking. How can a cat talk? Meow. See, like that? That was meowing. No, she just said, "Get away from my Hooman." What is Hooman? Me. Meow. Don't worry, TT, Jull is not bad people. Meow. Fine, just keep eating. Jull's you okay? I am not sure, my head can't just go around that. Let's sleep anyway. Give me a second. Next morning I took TT to Nerina. Apparently, it seemed that TT ignores the rest of the people and talks only to me. I don't know why Nerina was giving me that look. Anyway, I assured her about my meeting with the augur, and told her the parts she can believe anyway. Getting the help of the augur is already unbelievable enough, let alone his full cooperation. Loneth joined us later and told us about the incident with the cats, as well as the 8 injured students that were dragged by the college guards this morning. Nyrinal's team was disbanded and she was given a final warning. It seemed that she has quite a long history of ignoring the rules. I would have just expelled her if I was them. So, brat, what are you going to do about the matter of your vitality? Nerina was in her boss lady mood while going around some papers. I'll wait until next month for the rank-up exam of Sun's Height, July. Until then I'll just research new spells and put effort into training myself and Jull. No magicka training anytime soon. After the exam, I'll take Jull and TT south. I'll visit some places around Skyrim and hunt some trolls to train on them. I'll come back for the rank-up exam of Morning Star, January. You will wander for half a year? Loneth was taken aback. Shouldn't evokers go around the land and take inspiration for their research from the outside world? It was a common practice for evokers, that's why it is also called journeyman rank. Yes, but the outside world is dangerous and you don't really need inspiration. Your ideas are already good enough for you to rank up as a scholar. Loneth was still arguing. It's okay, he can go. Nerina said, but whatever it is, you should come back before Morning Star, January. Your coming-of-age ceremony will be held then. Hilda will be coming. I understand. More importantly, do you have a plan in mind or you are just going to wander aimlessly? Loneth asked. My focus will be on my and Jull's training. I will take some time off-road to avoid any unwanted disturbance. And of course I am teaching Jull how to conjure a fire mare. We will travel at full speed between the touring points. Which places are you visiting? Nerina asked lazily. First, the Shrine of Azura. She looked at me with a lazy but sharp gaze then sighed. Just whatever it is, don't do anything stupid. Then? Mount Anthor, I heard there is a dragon wall there. I am definitely going to study it for some time. Just be careful there. I heard that some dragon walls are considered sacred grounds for the hidden clans. Loneth said. Those idiots. 4 years from now these places will be the most dangerous places in the world. Why is that? Dragons. Again with dragons. Want a bet? No, I am fine. Lonoth never believed in my dragon prophecy anyway. Next, I want to go to the Nightgate village. There is some Nordic ruins that I really want to visit over there. Nordic ruin? Just train on sun magic properly from now then. Got it. My next destination will be Windhelm. I'll check the city out, then hit the road to Whiterun. Why not just go to Whiterun from the Nightgate village? It's just directly to the south. If you go to Windhelm, then you will head east, south, then west. I am only doing some tourism and adventuring. I will also meet with Ongium there, and for some business in Windhelm. What business? Secret. And what will you do into Whiterun? I'll visit Acra and Isolde, look for a place to hunt trolls. If I didn't find any, I'll go south to Helgen and Falkreath. By that time at least 4 months should be past. I'll come back then. Chapter 73, The Opening Day. A week passed since the conversation with Nurina and Lonoth. I completely stopped my magic training after my meeting with the augur, and now I am training my body like the old times. My strength has increased due to the increase in vitality. It is the energy of life after all. The more one have, the more stronger he gets, and it also vary in quality. My training became more extreme. I enchanted some objects to make them heavier, and also ran around the circular roof of the college. I did go to town lately from time to time and checked on everything. It all was going smoothly. The whistling mine business is getting better, and they started to build some lodging outside the mine for the miners. The master huntsman was also working smoothly. His group survived an attack by a bear thanks to a scroll I gave him for situations like these. The lumber business, however, was not smooth at all. Those who wanted to lumber started leaving the town to the south of the hold, so I made business contacts with them, and they will provide us when we need. I also sent Ongium to Solitude. He was to buy a lot of furniture for the bathhouse and my manor too. I had my eye on few places in Solitude, so it will go smoothly for him. The ship will also go to Dawnstar to buy boats and fishing tolls. The fishermen in Winterhold lacked all sort of the important stuff, so I extended a hand for them. The general trader, on the other hand, started running a while ago. Berna was buying from me and selling to the town folk in the reasonable prices they could afford. This may have caused some decline to the inn's business, but no one can complain about that. All these good events added to the town's liveliness and to my popularity. Adding the bathhouse, which will flood the town with money, I think I did a good job. Trudvar kept recruiting more boys from the town. I was putting together some groups to guard the businesses I own and the ones I am investing in. The best way to cover this force is by enlisting them as my sailors, as I nearly have 43 of them. I never knew this, but buying weapons for that number of guards attracted a very unwelcome attention. The Imperial Legion's fleet, that was stationed in the northern waters, sent few people to question about the weapons once they heard about. Apparently they heard the news in Dawnstar or someone ratted my business here. With few nice words of me doing business and establishing a small trading company, they left me alone, leaving behind some words of warning. This made me change some of my plans. Now I need my own blacksmithing workshop. My best choice is the townsfolk. There are 2 old blacksmiths that had some problems with work and needed money. Guess who showed up? I convinced them to work together and take few students. They needed a tanner and some other craftsmen, so I started doing my best to answer their needs. I also convinced them to work in a big workshop that I will construct for them when I have the chance. I actually own the land necessary, or I own 1/4 of the town's land. But all the masons were busy. Also they will take a rest after the work in my bathhouse and my manor, so it will take some time. Speaking of my manor and the bathhouse, they are almost done. My manor still lacked most of the necessary pieces of furniture, but the bathhouse was already good to go. More importantly, the opening day is tomorrow. It felt like a boulder that was finally cracked after the long work. The good this was the reaction of the college's people. Some were really looking forward to this more than even me. I guess advertising was never a problem here. The real business will start with the bathhouse tomorrow. Before I leave for my journey, I need to make sure that everything is working smoothly and Career wouldn't do anything funny. Even though he was restrained by the programming, I don't know what accident may happen when I leave for nearly half a year. My first plan was to make it impossible for him to mess with me, but also I decided to leave the town in secret and spread a rumor that I am making an intense closed-door training in the college. There actually is something like that. After finishing my daily training, I headed to clean myself and eat. My head is still distracted with the business though. My room was warm and cozy. Jul was not here as she went to the roof for spell spamming training. This only left me and Nefertiti, which was left with Nurina from the morning. Nefertiti was playful as ever. She liked to jump on everything and go into every crate. I even made her a small house from wood and she called me best Hooman ever. The next hour she started having a bad mood and got angry all of a sudden when I sat on my desk and started studying some spells. I don't know the exact reason, but she was acting spoiled most of the time lately. Speaking of my studies, the spell that I found in Hobbs' Fall Cave that was called Corpse Explosion is something really nasty. I now can cast it perfectly and also went to the midden and tried it on skeevers. I must say that this spell is invaluable when it comes to wars. When the undead or a corpse explode, all sorts of nasty diseases spread. I burned down the place I experimented in just from the idea of something leaking out. This may cause a plague. The spell can be casted on already dead corpses, but it would be much easier to use it on one's own undead. It ravages the fake soul of the undead, so it causes it to explode. To use it on corpses actually needs more energy. Imagine if one rallied his undead into the enemy lines then used that spell. Both physical, biological, and psychological damage would be great. I was satisfied with this spell and couldn't wait to use it in battle. My next study was on the anti-undead spell. The sun spells are the best counter to undead, and I had my mind to on a new one. An expert-level spell that casted as a missile. It is a strong one and needed time to evoke, charge and cast. I called it ultra-violent. I decimated the undead on its path like nothing. I even asked Nurina to conjure a strong undead to try it on, and the result was satisfying. After that I learned a spell Nurina gave me. It was the bind spell, an alteration spell that can trap foes and bind them with aspects of speed and weight. I wanted to put some time in training inner magica control, but it was not good with my current condition. After a day of boring and dull work, I took Nefertiti and played with her until she slept. Jul came late and stayed in the room to take care of Nefertiti. I dressed myself and went to town. I had to make sure that everything is perfect for tomorrow. Upon descending the bridge, I walked to the bathhouse building that was being guarded by 5 of my men. My appearance caused their sleepy eyes to sober and they stood for the boss. It feels damn good to be the mafia boss around these parts. I went into the bathhouse and the place was quiet. The building was divided into 3 areas. The main building, which had a courtyard and few rooms around it. The design was made to allow water to flow around the rooms. Under the courtyard was the basement that had most of the magic machines for pumping, desalination, and filtering the water. The other sides of the building were the south wing, which served as home for the girls, and the north wing, which was the management and the services. Also the manager's office was there. I walked into the building and looked around. I didn't sense any presence here. When I used scan, I found them all in the south wing. I walked there nonchalantly and knocked on the door. Few seconds later, Elishka opened the door while peeking outside. "What's up?" "Oh, it's you, boss. What are you doing here?" "Came to check. Something wrong?" She barely opened the door, and all I could see was her face. "Just give me a second," she said and closed the door, then opened it a minute later. "Come in, boss, but keep quiet." I didn't know what was going on, so I walked inside lightly. The place was warm in here. Looking at Elishka, she was barely dressed. Her curves were visible under the light clothes she was in. And it barely covered anything too. I am seeing something nice here. I couldn't hold back my grin. Sorry, boss. We didn't know you are coming, and I was in the middle of training the girls before tomorrow? Training, huh? Getting ready for the big day? Yes, boss. I smiled slyly. Can I peek? Elishka giggled and said, You are the boss, so you can just take a look around. I don't think the girls are that comfortable around me yet, I said, and it is much fun to peek. Yes, I may be me, but I learned peeking at a very young age. Who taught me? Well, it was Delvin and Brynjolf. The main target was normally Vex, who always found us. I wasn't taken to be taught anyway. I was just the scapegoat who get caught while they run. Well, that was the case until I tied Brynjolf once and left him under the mercy of both Vex and Tanilia. I couldn't do that with Delvin yet. So, peeking in my own bathhouse sounded so much fun, no matter how anyone thinks how wired it is. Anyway, I heard a lot of pleasant voices from the wall next to me. According to Elishka, the girls were training with each other. Look like they are having fun. Thanks to you, boss, these girls found a warm home and a good place to live in. They have food and all what they can ask for. Also, if you compare them to the before, you will get surprised. Yeah, I saw some of them actually gain some weight and look healthier. They indeed don't look pale like they used to be, and they look much better now. I walked with her and inspected the place well. Some girls passed by and started gathering their clothes that were as light and revealing as Elishka's, but they only got glared at by her. Mistress, did Tija? Oh, you're here, boss. A girl came and greeted us. She looked familiar. Oh, you are that make Winterhold great again girl. Yes, boss, my name is Jvanka. What? Jvanka. Boss. I remembered something unpleasant. Must be a coincidence. Gotta be. No. Ahem, sorry, nice name, hehe, who are you named after? I don't know, boss. And your father is? His name is Jonald the Drumpf, a stone mason. Boss. I remembered something unpleasant again. A stone mason, huh? He must have built many walls. Yes, boss. He always dreamed about building the biggest wall in Winterhold. Boss. Oh. Thank you, Jvanka. Excuse me. I just couldn't hear this anymore and took myself away. This is madness. Are you okay, boss? Elishka followed me when I walked away. Yes, just remembered something. My head was spinning from the headache that assaulted my out of nowhere. I was having some second thoughts about the walls in Winterhold now. This way, boss. Where to? Didn't you want to peek? I almost forgot. Where Elishka stood was on the stairs to the next floor. There seemed to be an opening in the wall enough for one to peek on the whole room. Just as I looked through it, the blood ran through my head and I felt a weird sensation in my nose. Retreat. Abort peeking. I looked away immediately. No. I must be strong. I must withstand it. I will look again. I am ready this time. Let's do it. This is like what you see, boss. Damn. Some girls were doing this. Some girls were doing that. Point is, I don't know what was this or that. This was mostly a girl-on-girl action, and it was my first time seeing in live. Hey, Elishka. Yes. This won't do. Let's find a room? Are you okay, boss? Elishka followed me when I walked away. Yes, just remembered something. My head was spinning from the headache that assaulted my out of nowhere. I was having some second thoughts about the walls in Winterhold now. This way, boss. Where to? Didn't you want to peek? I almost forgot. Where Elishka stood was on the stairs to the next floor. There seemed to be an opening in the wall enough for one to peek on the whole room. Just as I looked through it, the blood ran through my head and I felt a weird sensation in my nose. Retreat. Abort peeking. I looked away immediately. No. I must be strong. I must withstand it. I will look again. I am ready this time. Let's do it. This is like what you see, boss. Damn. Some girls were doing this. Some girls were doing that. Point is, I don't know what was this or that. This was mostly a girl-on-girl action, and it was my first time seeing in live. Hey Alishka. Yes. This won't do. Let's find a room? I looked at her and started losing my reason. Boss, this won't do. If we do it with you now, I may not be able to be ready tomorrow. Why is that, I wonder? It's just that, boss, you do things a bit strong. She was stuttering on her words and retreating back until she had no room to retreat more. And do you think it is right for a healthy young man like myself to see all that and just stay cool-headed? I trapped her to the wall with my arms and got closer. Yes, the boss is a healthy young man, but maybe too healthy. What is that about? I was not planning on letting her go anyway. I started touching her body, which was burning like fire. Listen, boss, I know no, don't touch here, moaning this, not boss. Something you want to say it quickly. I was going insane from that sinful body of hers, but I figured she wanted to say something. Can you please not do it hard like last time? We just can take it easy. Oh, now that I think about it, Alishka may think that I do it a bit hardcore because of our 2 times before. She is the kind who doesn't like that, it seemed. I calm myself down and breath normally. Fine, take me somewhere we can do it. Alishka nodded and walked to the next floor. She was giving me a great view of something nice. When I followed her, I felt that someone was looking. Some girls seemed to have noticed us and started peeking. I don't mind anyway. Alishka walked to a room and I followed in. It was a big room with a big bed, full furniture and all. Your room. She nodded to me and smiled. Can you leave everything to me? So she wants to take the lead. Well, haven't tried that before, but fine by me. Sit down, would you like to drink something? Is she trying to make it a bit romantic or something? I don't understand, but I'll play along. I sat on the bedside and followed her with my eyes. Thank you. She handed me some wine in an elegant goblet and sat next to me. She started talking about this and that. Apparently she wanted to cool my head first. I must admit, she knows what she is doing. A while later, we stuck to each other and she put my hand on her chest and got entangled in a long kiss that way. Alishka is something else after all. Everyone has their talent they are the best in, and her talent is sex. After fondling her chest and kissing her for a while, she fixed her position and I removed these pieces of cloth that hid that beautiful body. What I saw made me lose my words. Alishka's body is like none other. Her voluptuous hourglass figure, white skin and brown hair made everything so desirable. Her large eyes, hazel eyes, round face and cheeks showed nothing but beauty. She was standing on her knees on the bed and bended her body down to take another round of kissing. After a while of sucking my soul by her lips, she crossed her arms under her beasts and closed them to my face. I answered her call and held her waist, then attacked her beasts with my face. I bit on her nibbles and played with them, and she was smiling and switching me from a breast to the other. After that she stood and undressed me herself while making me kiss any part of her that comes to my reach. I was pushed on the bed too. Just as my clothes were down, she descended on Little John with her breasts and started rubbing. We would take a chance to kiss with each round. After doing it for some time, I felt her taking Little John in her mouth. It was being tormented left and right, and I felt that feeling again. Alishka is expert in this part. Her tongue is doing wonders now. I had to fix my position to see her doing her magic. I felt intoxicated by pleasure, yet she was not done with me. When she took her time tormenting Little John in her mouth, she moved back to me and started assaulting my body and kissing me everywhere she could reach. Unlike before, Alishka was enjoying herself too this time. She is not a bathhouse wench after all, she is my business partner, and we have to keep the relationship warm. I was leaning on the bed all the time and watching this amazing show. Also, I was not the only watcher, there were some peeping Toms watching us from outside. Ignoring them, I took Alishka and draged her on the bed beside me, then targeted her sinful booty. Her booty was glorious and proud, a full round bubble, but that drives people insane, was now under my full control. I took time with it, this sinful booty needed punishment, and all I did was biting and playing with it. Alishka was moving her legs happily and smiling at me all the time. I stood up to fix my position on her, and went on another round with that crazy booty. My hand slipped between her hips right to her pussy. The place was warm and nice, but we aren't doing it this early. I took my time, then started going all the way up through her back to her left shoulder, and all these curves until I finally reached her lips once again, and we forgot ourselves in a kissing deadlock. John, do it. So I finally took the green flag. Yes, ride your lordship. How can I decline such an offer? She was in a good mood after I agreed to go softcore with her. Even cracking jokes and tickling her was making it better. Finally, I took her from her back and pushed her down. She was squirming playfully and shaking her butt left and right for me. Spank. It indeed jiggles. Let's go in. I fixed myself behind her and aimed Little John into her oven. That sinful pussy shall get wrecked tonight. As I got in, I moved in slowly for her to adjust. I wad-planing to put all of it in. John. Did it get bigger? You like it? Just don't go crazy like last time. Got it. As we were talking, I was already on top of her and leaned on her flawless back to kiss every inch of its beauty. She twisted herself to face me and we kissed as I started thrusting in. She was also in the mood and moved her hips make it faster. We continued like this for some time before we decided to change position. I took some rest and lied on my back. System, show me stamina. 89/100. I am not even there yet. Alishka lied beside me and we went into a cuddle. You are really enjoying this, I said. This woman was all smiles. To tell you the truth, this is the first time I do it on my terms, she said. I thought so. She worked in a bathhouse until she became a MILF like this. No one wouldn't take her to just make her do what she want. She had a thing for kissing, and I started to like it. She was a master beyond my league in terms of experience, so I was seriously learning from her too. She lied over me while kissing for a while. As she finally took her time like that, she sat up and moved herself on top of me. She is going for cowgirl. She took Little John into its end. I could feel it reaching deep until it reached an end. Just as it reached to this point, Alishka started moving herself up and down, and my oh my. Everything is moving everywhere. Every time she went up and down, her breasts were going around and up and down. She then leaned on me and her breasts were moving everywhere all over my face. I grabbed them and took it one with my mouth. She was moaning while moving herself, and the stage got heated once again. This was it, we were losing it together this time. I hugged her tightly and moved my hips faster and faster. She was moaning and hugging my head into her chest. It's a bit nice here but no room to breathe. Feeling we had to do it faster, I moved my body with her on top of me, then twisted myself and became on top of her. She locked her legs around my waist, and I moved my hips like mad. She was moaning louder and pulling her hair with a hand while hugging on my head with the other. It's coming. Don't stop. This was no good, but things went out of hand already. I was about to come, and there was no way from this. She also came with me, and our bodies were still clinging on each other. I wasn't out of the woods yet. She was pleasuring herself with all she got and kept kissing me again and again. My senses came to me, so I checked my stamina again. SP 64/103. I still can go 2 more times. I don't think I have any power left. I guess Xena took most of the burden from her last time. Anyway, I need to wash some. Come, let's the first one to bathe in the bathhouse be you. Well, I own it, so why not? We went to a bathing room naked and bathed for the whole night. I can't enter the college now anyway, so I'll be staying in Alishka's room. During the bath, we got closer than just the wench and the client relationship from before. Anyway, this was my official first night with my sex friend and business partner, Alishka. My senses came to me, so I checked my stamina again. SP 64/103. It increased, huh? I still can go 2 more times. I don't think I have any power left. I guess Xena took most of the burden from her last time. Anyway, I need to wash some. Come, the first one to bathe in the bathhouse will be us. Well, we own it, so why not? We went to a bathing room naked and bathed for the whole night. I can't enter the college now anyway, so I'll be staying in Alishka's room. During the bath, we got closer in relationship and became more familiar with each other, more than just the wench and the client relationship from before. Anyway, this was my official first night with my sex friend and business partner, Alishka. Next morning, I sneaked back to the college. Nonetheless, I was excited as anyone else. The bathhouse is opening today. I had arrangements with the boys today. We are going out to celebrate. Rusning, who was busy in his research lately, as well as Hooman and Svedal. I also brought Morbagog and Marin, who worked with me in most on this bathhouse. We met at the afternoon and I took them to spend money in the bathhouse. The college students were flocking the place, and it seemed that business has started earlier than usual. The day was spent quickly, so as money, of course I was earning money too, but no one knew that. All that was told to public that I only invested here and made the bathhouse possible. I also sat in a place to hide from most people. I wanted to see how people will react to the bathhouse in the first day. Of course I made prices high to just suit the students and not the townsfolk. It was going my way anyway. At evening, some unexpected visitors popped up. First, it was Isle, whose nose was bleeding. I had to make the guards chase her out. Next, some teachers came in. I was expecting them anyway. After that, some Altmare boys came while hiding their features. They didn't want anyone to know they came. Sigh. Typical high elves. The most expected one was Teacher Talfdir. The old bones was healthy as ever when he came. He was hiding his features too, but I found out. This was better than I thought. With this much customers, I don't think I will have to worry about the town's economy anyway. This is a true game changer. I left the place to Alishka and the girls with some words of encouragement and went back to the college. I had an exam in less than a month and I have to be prepared. Bonus. Black small square bad Hooman. Hooman. Nefertiti. What do you want, cutie? John. You abandoned me, Naya. Bad Hooman, Naya. Nefertiti. What's with her, Joel? John. She is in a bad mood since yesterday. Joel. Yes, Naya. I smell another one on you, Naya. Nefertiti. Another what now? Joel. Joel, when did you start to understand Nefertiti? No, wait. John. Chapter 74, Hitting the Road. 3 weeks have passed and now it is the 1st of Sun's height, July. 4 times 10 to the power of negative 196. An annoying middos, Monday, as any other. I just finished the rank-up exam and ranked to Evoker. Not just that, but as someone who worked on the Atronak mounts with Nurina, I got to submit a flame Atronak horse spell. Of course, I didn't give them the Arabian horse one, I gave them the bulky Nord horse that runs like a duck. All that time, rumors were going around about me riding on a fire horse in town, and many people came and asked about it, but I turned them all down. I just submitted that spell and made it more complicated than normal so it doesn't go around easily. I didn't really want to submit it, but it was the best one I do. All my other spells were a bit over the norm, and by submitting it after the rank-up exam, I now have the qualifications to rank up to the scholar rank, but it would take a while before I start thinking seriously about it. By the way, I ranked first in the exam too, but it wasn't by a Spartan over-the-top score like last time. I just got the full mark and nothing looked weird about it. Well, until I discovered that the second student rank didn't even get close to me. Sigh. I am being looked at once again. Unlike last time, I am now known as the leader of the Creation Club and the Thane of Winterhold. No one can mess with me. Speaking of the Creation Club, we made few good achievements and got credited for the machines in the bathhouse which I asked Alishka to submit a request for. This all added to the popularity of our team, and some new members joined. Eliel handled the new members as I was mostly the mascot of the club anyway. My job was to put projects and give them ideas. I also help, but I leave most of the work to them like any good boss. The most interesting new members were Rundi and Brover, who just ranked up to apprentices and were my roommates when I first arrived here. They are brothers and twins at that. Still, they disagreed with each other over every little thing, but they shared an overwhelming love for mead. They wanted to open a meadery that can rival the Blackbriar and Honningbrew meads. I heard their ideas and promised them support as long as they establish that meadery in Winterhold. I also gave them some warnings about the dangers of their research and all that. Why would I do all that? Well, there is something here that most players wouldn't really know. Rundi and Brover are NPCs from the game. They may not give any impression to a player like me, and they were hard to remember at first, but these two along with Yisra and another student were under a quest called Missing Students. The player has to go look for 4 students that have gone missing just to find 4 horrible death accidents occurred to them. This is a college quest that got cut from the game, but one can actually find the corpses anytime around Winterhold. I intend to change that. Rundi and Brover are 2 good fellows and deserve saving. Yisra may be an arsonist, but she is a talented mage and a friend. I met the 4th student once, but I will at least give him an advice. The Creation Club was doing just fine now. But there is one more important news. We are submitting the 2 projects we worked on now. To submit such a project, we had to go through some regulations and paperwork, but we left that to Eilil. Perverts are good with paperwork anyway. The first project is the Magicameter, which can measure one's magicka. It was met with some suspension at first, but I made sure it was working well by comparing it to my system. It showed nearly 520 MP, but of course, I would keep that a secret to myself. When it was submitted after the exam, some students from the other clubs wanted to try it, but their reactions were not that friendly. An Altmaier student made a fuss when the device showed 130 MP for him and the same score for a Nord student. This caused more problems, but the submission overseer was teacher Thalmor himself, who confirmed that the device is right as the racial difference was mostly in talent but not magicka. When Thalmor himself used the device, it went over the 1000 MP mark by a little. Actually, the device was made with a common soul gem, which its capacity doesn't exceed the 1000 MP. The device was submitted and adopted by the college. This gave enough contribution points to the team for a rank up and a big reward. The second device was the dairymeter that I shamelessly named after myself. It can detect the output frequency and block it if it goes haywire. Unlike the Magicameter, this was completely under my name as the lead researcher and a device that made the submission overseers, as well as the other teachers, jump from the scare when they heard the description. For them, this device is just too great to not stand up for. As I intended, it was a glove with a measuring device on its back. When a spell gets cast, it detects the flow of magicka in every phase of the spell. Once it goes haywire, the glove cancels the spell. The value of this device in their eyes was high, so I prepared few of it and gifted them to the overseers immediately. It is not that expensive. This alone secured me enough contributions to advance for the wizard rank. I still lack some other qualifications, but I will take my time anyway. Of course, we celebrated and all. The rewards of the college were always generous, and I was congratulated by Savos Aron himself. After this point, I had no more work or researches I want to do at the college. Also, I was packing my things for the journey. Before I leave, I had to check the town. It has been a week since I moved to my new manor. I called it Seamist Manor. Most beautiful and artistic buildings have its unique names like Lakeview or Honeyside, so I called this way. The place was great. The furniture was good and everything looked as I imagined. I finally had my own kitchen where I can try making the food I wanted to make long ago. I want to make noodles, shawarma, kushari, pizza, and all these good stuff, but my experience in cooking is not something to be proud of, so I will learn bit by bit. My room was the most amazing place in the world in my eyes right now. Jelena wanted to make the attic her own room, so I gave it to her anyway. Nefertiti also loved the place and ran around everywhere. In the basement, there was a door made of Dwemer metal that has 3 keyholes and looks sturdy as hell. This was the combined work of me, Morbagog, and Marin. Of course, the 3 keyholes were just a distraction. The original keyhole was behind a brick in the wall, and it needed a special key to open. This door leads to the vault. A safe room reinforced by metal and contained most of my money and important research papers. It is also made to keep the artifacts that I will obtain in the future. Other than that, I tried to think of planting some winter herbs around the manor, but we'll leave that for later. Other than the house, the bathhouse was working just fine and it made some good income. The town started to feel the circulation of money and things started looking good. I also sneaked to the bathroom a few times to spend the night with Alishka. All in all, life was going well. I went to my room and threw myself on my ridiculously large bed to get enough sleep for tomorrow. Tomorrow became today, and the morning was cold. I returned to the college and went to see Nurina, Lanath, and my friends. Nurina heartlessly gave me another shopping list. I was waiting for something more, but I was told off. Lanath gave me a tome with some ideas and spells she worked on and told me they will prove helpful in the adventure. After that I left the college and met with Angium. I told him to meet me some time from now in Windhelm and bring an extra crew with him. I had some business there. Finally, I gave Trudvar some money and a new weapon. I also took my hammer, the Igniare, back. I'll be needing it in this journey. I had my gear on, my scaled armor from the tournament and all. I covered myself in a traveling cloak, and carried Nefertiti, who was warped in some warm fur. Jules followed carrying a knapsack. Just like this, we sneaked out of town under the cover of daylight. Don't ask how. As we walked a fair distance away from the town, I conjured 2 fire horses, and Jules conjured one. We put our stuff on one and rode the others. I don't think Jules or Nefertiti can handle a high-speed ride, so we just rode on moderate speed. 6 hours passed and we reached Whistling Mine. I went down and greeted the people over here. It was also a good chance to rest from riding. The place has changed. On the other side of the road, a small village was built. This was not here before and definitely looked like progress to me. I think I can fund them to make an inn here. I didn't stay for too long. I wanted to reach the Shrine of Azura before the sunset. The shrine is on top of the mountain that the cave is under. There is a steep route, but I will have no problems with it. Normally wolves live in this area, but one of the perks of riding a flame Atronak horse is that the wolves won't dare to approach. The path leading to the shrine is found not far south of Whistling Mine and rises sharply to the west. To reach it, one should travel southeast along the path from Winterhold in the direction of Windhelm. If the weather is clear, it is possible to see a long way in all directions. After 2 hours of fast riding, the shrine showed itself sitting atop a stone fort-like structure that was supposedly built by Dunmer, who revere her. There is an altar in front of the massive statue. In front of this is where a woman Arrhenius spends all her time worshipping. To the right of the altar on a level below is a small camp consisting of a small tent. We arrived right before the sunset and climbed the stairs to the altar area where I remember Arrhenius spends her time. Indeed, there is more tents than I thought, and some more Dunmer people who came for the pilgrimage, as it seemed. I looked at the massive, beautiful statue and felt the wonder of its beauty. I don't know who exactly built it, but they are artists. Azura of the Crimson Gate, also known as Azura, the Queen of Dawn and Dusk, Mother of the Rose, and Queen of the Night Sky, is a Daedric prince whose sphere is dawn and dusk, the magic in-between realms of twilight, as well as vanity and egotism. Azura is one of the few Daedra who maintains the appearance of being good by mortal standards and presumably feels more concern for the well-being of her mortal subjects than other Daedric princes. She is one of the few Daedric princes who constantly maintains a female image, and is perceived accordingly. Although she is never overtly deceitful, the way Azura always gets what she desires in the end, and how titanic events always follow her interventions can be portrayed as disturbing. Her followers acknowledge that she is cruel but wise. While she is considered one of the good Daedra by the Dunmer of Morrowind, elsewhere she has been known to be allied with Molag Bal, who is known to the Dunmer as one of the four corners of the House of Troubles. The people of the Iliac Bay region believe that Azura bewitches some of her followers to become her lovers and virtual slaves. Azura's realm in Oblivion is called Moonshadow, is a realm created and ruled over by her. The realm claimed to be so beautiful that visiting mortals are half-blinded. The realm contains flowers and waterfalls, majestic trees, and a city of silver. The wind smells of perfume, and the realm is known to have rain. Azura lives in a rose palace and is welcoming to mortal travelers. This is all I could remember from reading about her. For her to be the first Daedric prince I try to deal with, then I sure am not bad. I was in deep thought that even Nefertiti in my hand didn't move and kept quiet. Azura, ha! A voice came from the side that made me jump away. The one who spoke was a Dunmer woman in the robes of monks. She was covered in fur because of the cold weather and looked a bit bothered. Ahem! Azura has seen your coming, traveler. It was not curiosity but fate that has led you here, she said. I looked at the woman, who seemed to be Arania, the priestess of Azura. I looked at the statue and smiled. Well, even curiosity is a fate. But I guess Lady Azura can see me coming from miles away. I mean, we can see her statue from Winterhold of the Sky is clear. No, Azura has given me the gift of foresight. I had a vision of you walking up the steps to this altar long before you were born. You have been chosen to be her champion. I know it is unexpected, but do not worry. It will all unfold as she has predicted. And you must go to a fortress endangered by water, yet untouched by it. Inside, you will find an elven mage who can turn the brightest star as black as night. She said, it is cryptic, I know, but Azura's signs are never wrong. I believe the fortress may refer to Winterhold. Ask if they know this elven enchanter. I guess I know who I am looking for. But can I camp here for the night? You are welcome here. Thank you. May the twilight guide you. I left the woman and told Jull to bring our camping gear. This will be a cold night. Bonus. Black small square on the mountain of Azura's shrine. Hooman, what is that, Naya? This is our kingdom, Nefertiti. Our kingdom, Naya. Yes, anything under the sun is our kingdom. The tent is getting cold, you idiots. Chapter 75, Thalmor. Good morning. It's warm in here, completely unlike the outside. My survival instincts are telling me to not even think about getting up. This only because my fur tent kept the inside so damn nice and warm. Even though I am a Nord, I have that bad habit of not waking up early in cold days. I was still dragged out by force and had some snow shoved in my clothes. Jull was in a bad mood, as it seemed that I have snored a bit in the night. Even Nefertiti joined the other side and bullied me. I just can't, sobbed, this is too hard. Breakfast was ready, of course. I shamelessly sat down hoping to get some food, but Jull was not even talking to me. I should never snore anymore. Yep, I am sorry. I can't make puppy eyes, so I was still treated coldly and had a little food. Nefertiti, who sided with Jull, was chewing on her favorite dried fish. She has grown a bit since the time I took her in. Still, I won't allow her to get fat and lazy. Well, she is lazy. After some time, we said farewell to Urania, the priestess of Azura. We took off on our flame Atranak horses that we conjured at some distance away from the shrine. Looking back at that beautiful statue, I had an urge and remembered something. System, can you take a screenshot? Confirmed. Would you like to name the image? Ho ho ho. This augur, what a fine work he did here. Let's try this then. Save it under the name statue with boobs. Saving. Please choose a save folder. Save what now? What is that folder thing I heard? Save it in. Skyrim landscape folder. Processing your request. Building the data will be done according to the image the host have in mind. Would you like to proceed? The hell? He didn't tell me it can do all that. Proceed. Confirmed. Displaying the data will be done relying on the aspects of illusion. The data displaying will take form based on modern knowledge from the host's memory. Please wait. What th? Loading is complete. Displaying the files. What is in front of me is something like a menu. It has some options like status, magic, equipments, map, save data. Save data was like this. Saved data. Times Skyrim landscape. Play button statue _with _boobs. Jep. Huh? Oi. Are you kidding with me? System, did you upgrade or something? Last update. 7 hours, 6 minutes, 35 seconds ago. For detailed information, please contact the main branch. Main branch now. Fuck you. Sigh. Contact the main branch. Confirmed. Activating the telepathic link. Your call was expected. Don't tell me you are going to open a KFC stall soon? The idea would be tempting if I had a mortal body. What in oblivion did you do to the system? I must apologize for the first attempt at updating the system. It was my first time, after all. Think of the last one as a beta version. Fine. Why did you change it anyway? It is simply because I could comprehend more knowledge from your memories. Did you finally turn red and started calling yourself Skynet? No at all. My goal was to put more effort into assisting you. Well, thanks. Please make full use of the upgrades on the following updates. I will make sure to contact you beforehand. Okay, I was just shocked. Thank you. Telepathic link ended. Sigh. My immersion is getting destroyed. What would Lord MXR think of his faithful follower if he knew about this? MXR, famous Skyrim YouTuber, known as the Immersive Lord. Sigh. Can't stop sighing. Okay, system. Show me what you got. Status. Name, John Dare. Race, human, Nord. Age, 15. Level, 17. Attributes. Health, 148-148. Stamina, 107-107. Magicka, 525-20. Active effects. Astral damage, 19%. Nothing changed here. It just doesn't show magic anymore. Equipments. Equipments. Plus head. Plus upper. Plus lower. Plus accessories. Plus weapons. Ho ho. Let's check them all. Times head. Hood, black fur cloth. Mask, black linen face cover cloth times upper. Shirt, gray shirt cloth. Curious. Scaled light, 50% resist magic. Cloak, black fur cloth. Gloves. Gloves light, MP consumption -10%, times lower. Pants, black traveling pants cloth. Boots. Leather, muffled, light. Times accessories. Ring. Nerina's ring, Magica Regan 150%. Necklace. Amulet of Talos, thumb cooldown -50%, times weapons. Saber. Skyforge steel, paralyze plus burden enemy gear. Warhammer, Agniare steel, sun damage. Dagger, steel. Damn. My fetish for wearing black clothes is showing its full might here. I approve. Good job, Augur. I think I already know the map and the magic, but I want to see the new spells. Mysticism. Necromancy. Reanimate. Supply undead. Corpse explosion, alteration. Object. Stone skin, flame skin. Acceleration, moved from mysticism, time. Binding, restoration. Sun. Sunrays. Sunfire, sun rune. Holy smite, paladin's aura. Ultraviolent. Great, I can't wait to use them. Hooman. Someone coming, Naya. Damn it. I raised a flag. Where is that? Ahead, Naya. I cast scan to detect any signs of life or energy, but I found nothing. I wasn't surprised. Nefertiti is a mage sentry cat. Her kind is terrifying when it comes to detection or finding stuff. Even those who go into stealth with magic or hidden by the powers of oblivion can be detected by these cat. Nurina said that they can sense magica better than any living being. To think Nefertiti can do it at almost 4 months of age. That's my girl. I couldn't help but kiss that furry tiny thing. Now let's try to see further. I cast 2 times and 2 familiar falcons flew ahead. I was curious about who would come to this barren place. This is the area west to the Shrine of Azura. This place has nothing but snow, not even a road. I even have to cast scan on the ground from time to time just to avoid any surprises. The idea of someone traveling in this place other than me is somehow worth looking into. I may have to hide if it is something I can't face. Finally, my familiars detected something over 300 meters away. Damn girl, can you hear all this distance? I commanded the familiars to descend and investigate. These were some people. The vision I receive from the familiars are vague, but I can tell from the movement that these are mostly weak people. Some looked like carrying some weapons, but the others appeared to be carrying children. What is this? A caravan? It can't be. Not in this place. Jul, we are advancing ahead. Take Nefertiti with you. Something is not right. Understood. Jul took the small basket Nefertiti stayed in, and I rode faster to scout ahead. I have a pinpoint mark on both Jul and Nefertiti, so they mostly can appear on the map. System. Minimap. Map. Good. My allies are the blue dots, my familiars are the green, those people are yellow. Kinda cool. The fire horse galloped on the snow, and its speed was amazing as ever. Not even a minute has passed, and I was facing a group of people. They were in a miserable state, some were even injured badly. They were about 30, mostly women and children with 7 men holding weapons. They looked as if they went through oblivion and back. Once they saw a man on a fire horse, they easily panicked and fell on their knees. They looked as if their minds were on the brink of despair, and they easily fell to it. The 7 men jumped ahead to face me. Peace. I raised a hand. I hope I didn't give you a scare. I am just a traveling mage. I removed my hood and face cover in attempt to make a friendly face. The people looked at each other as if not expecting to see a Nord. Well, sorry to break it to you. Is something chasing you people? Master Mage, please save us, we are dying. A woman broke in crying after she wrapped the situation up in her mind. She cried at me holding her son in her arms. Speak. I urged the men in the front to speak. The eldest man among them put his spear away and said, Thalmor, Sir Mage. The Thalmor are chasing us. The situation was simple. A cult of Talos worshippers lived in a village south to Dawnstar. It was in the west of Winterhold, 5 days of walking apart. These people appeared to be a cult that worshipped Talos in secret and was discovered by the Thalmor. The Thalmor forced the Empire to allow them to hunt the worshippers of Talos in Skyrim after the accident of Markarth and what Ulfric Stormcloak did when he demanded for the free worship. His action led to another political breakdown between the Empire and the Aldmeri Dominion, as allowing Ulfric to have the free worship he asked for was a violation to the White Gold Concordat that was signed to end the Great War. Due to this, the Thalmor agents and soldiers started going around Skyrim hunting the secret worshippers like dogs. How hateful! More to that, the Thalmor actually dared and ventured far this east. One must know that the policies of the Empire are more applied west than east of Skyrim, as in the west was the capital, Solitude, the center of the imperial power, and in the east was the ancient city of Windhelm, the stronghold of Ulfric Stormcloak and the future base of the Stormcloak rebellion against the Empire. This was clear as daylight. The Thalmor are provoking Ulfric. They want him to find out about their crimes against Nords near his doorstep. Else, why would they let those people run all the way from the north of Skyrim to the east where they know it would be safer? These people are just some messengers to put more oil on Ulfric's fire. How sly! I tried to locate the Thalmor and they were not that far, just half an hour away based on how leisurely they were traveling. Their elven armors and robes gave them away immediately under the vision of my familiars. I couldn't let the familiars go nearer, as they will get discovered and alert the Thalmor. Still, their number was almost 32. I can't face them alone. If I am going to act, I have two objectives. First, the survival of the people. I had nothing to give them. The food I carry is only enough for 2 and a cat. Second, the Thalmor need to be killed. Now, let's act based on what we can do. I gave the people directions towards the shrine of Azura. This is the nearest place of inhabitants anyway. Jelinar finally caught up, and it was the time to lay an ambush. The Thalmor will be here soon, and there is an amulet of Talos on me. I don't think they would let a random human traveler pass alive anyway. These elves are lawless. Jul, hand me the soul gems bag. I said these words and my heart was quivering in pain. What will you do? Watch and learn. There is nothing called number superiority when it comes to John Dare. Yeah, sure. Here, go and get us killed. Sigh. This girl needs to learn some manners. Anyway, let's get this over with. I went to the tracks of the escapees and started to prepare. I had 11 lesser soul gems which will be used right now. I am using a technique I learned lately. It is classified as Conjure Frost Atronak, but this is called Conjure Frost Guardian. What is it, you ask? Well, it is the same as Conjure Frost Atronak. The only differences are, one barely get to control them around and they stay in place. The only orders one can give them is enemy, ally, hide, stuff like that. More than that, they don't just get conjured by normal magicka and cast technique. They require a lesser soul gem each. Pretty wasteful, right? Well, they also have a big advantage. They are not bound to oblivion anymore, which means they are summoned permanently. Due to that, they are stronger than their normal summon and leave bodies behind when they die, not like the normal summon that gets its body back to oblivion. The best part about their trashy control is that you can have a large number of them. Larger than the number one normally can control. With the flaw of their mobility, all guardian summons are perfect for defense and ambush. Now I am surrounded by 11 of those and I could hide them successfully around the track. They looked like ice pieces if one didn't notice their magicka. This is perfect. I am in good mood now. Time to hide. I ran from the place and went to a higher ground where Jul and Nefertiti hid. The last touch I wanted to add was some undead. To not harm the Frost Guardians with friendly fire. I had to summon only Mistmen, the floating black upper-half skeletons that cast frost magic. I can get 8 of them. In my hand was a bound bow, and Jul was carrying her bow. We will hunt them in the fray. Not long later, Nefertiti heard them getting nearer. I was on my toes ready for the ambush. Slowly they walked like mice in the trap, not expecting what was waiting for them. Almost there. Now they are surrounded. Attack! Chapter 76, Red Hair, Red Eyes. There is a vote on Discord. It is about the Star of Azura. You can vote between the Star of Azura that can trap white souls of animals and other beings, or the Black Star that can trap the black souls of mortals. This is a 4K words chapter. Just to let you know and appreciate it. Justiciar Laranur's POV. Nords. How filthy. They are not just humans. They are the lowest kind of humans, at least those filthy Bretons walk around showing off their elven ancestry. But you will never find anyone as lowly as Nords. Those monkeys that worship a demon like Lorcan and a lowly human like Talos deserve nothing but to be chased and killed like the dogs they are. Even their empire has given up on them due to their stupidity. Now we should do our mission, and we should do it right. A message has to be sent for that Jarl in Windhelm. Still, we can enjoy some hunting on the way. Those mongrels refused to die out and fought a hopeless fight, shouting Sovngarde this and Sovngarde that. Some of them actually died smiling. I mean, can anyone believe it? What are their brains made of? I wouldn't have even believed they have ones until when I cracked a head and looked into it. They always fight. They are getting on my nerves and under my skin. They just need to be eradicated once and for all. Justiciar Laranur, you are making that face once again. I get it. I apologize, Justiciar Ronril. I just get into a dire mood when I start thinking about those mongrels. They are giving us this headache running around this damnable wasteland. The one spoke to me was my senior. He is a lazy old one. Promoted to a justiciar 16 years ago, yet with no achievements whatsoever, even though he was said to be talented. He is being chased by his ghosts from the Great War and drinks them away. Pathetic and worthless. Now his worth is nothing and all he does is beginner's work. Don't we all get sick of them? You may have been promoted recently, but don't let it get into your head. He said, those Nords may be worthless as far as the word worthless can get, but you should never look down on a cornered rat. You don't know how fierce a cornered rat can fight. Blah. Here he goes again with his nonsense. What can those lowly trash do? I apologize in advance, but you guys will have to write a detailed report on how will I slaughter them and rip them apart. The one who spoke was Seelan, an arrogant fool who was promoted with me. I don't know why would I get chosen to do a mission with these two fools. Easy there. We need to at least make sure that one or two of them get to that shithole they call Windhelm. Don't forget the mission we are on. I have to remind them not to go overboard and ruin this damn mission. I am not worried about Ronril since he barely does anything useful anyway. The one who I am worried about is Seelan. He is a psychopathic fucker that loves nothing more than hearing screams. What does a girl like you know anyway? Seelan said, if I acted like a wimp and didn't do anything serious, I may get stuck in this job for who knows how many years. He was speaking ill of me and Ronril in the same time, Well, let's see what am I going to write about you in the report. You shouldn't talk like that, Justiciar Seelan. Ronril rode his horse between ours. Those Nords you want to kill dearly are nothing but people who are going to perish sooner or later. You should set your eyes on the bigger picture. Bigger picture? I asked. I am sure after you two got promoted you heard about those people who call themselves the hidden clans of Skyrim. They are the true power behind this land, something you have to be wary of all the time. Hidden clan? They are just Nords, bound to die under my sword like any other Nords no matter what they call themselves. Hidden clans. Companions. Such vulgar names. Seelan kept going with his haughty act. Can't we just kill him here and tell the soldiers not to talk about it? But I have read the report about the hidden clans. Pretty mysterious tales were written about them: giant's blood, beast blood, fire blood, Akaviri blood. Too many bloods. It seemed that they are powerhouses with unique blood lineages that for some reason hid from the political world and kept moving the undercurrents from the shadows. Even though they are Nords, they are not that stupid. Let's see what this Ronril fool knows about them. I have read the report about them, but many things appeared to be classified. What does Senior know about them? I just threw that thing away. Hidden clans my ass. Seelan interrupted me rudely. No one even was talking to you, Justiciar Seelan, I said without even looking at him, worthless dog. You, Seelan was grinding his teeth. That sure hit the mark. Calm down, you two. This is not the manners justiciars should show, especially in front of soldiers. Ronril said, sigh. Regarding your question, Justiciar Lariner, the hidden clans are forces originated from the ancient 500 companion of Iskramor, an Atmaran, ancient Nords, murderer who eradicated a lot of elves and created a nation for the current-day Nords. Those clans rivaled the old Famr, snow elves, and Dwemer, deep elves, pushing them out of power in Skyrim. After these wars, they established themselves in small clans away from the Atmaran cities, until they increased in number and varied in bloodlines. Some clans kept their bloodlines since the olden ages but mostly died out, some went into public, some combined their bloodlines together, and some adopted Akaviri invaders of the Tsiesi invasion of 1E2703. All in all, these powerhouses are not your run-of-the-mill Nords. They are fierce fighters with small private armies and mysterious powers. TCH. Seelan was dissatisfied with what he heard. What are the standings of these clans with each other, Senior? I asked. They can be turned against each other when they see the threat from each other. Some clans don't mind us like those from the Bloodsail and Stormfist clans. Some doesn't even tolerate us on Nirn like the Moonblade clan. The known factions like that College and the Companions are also considered some powerhouses but can't give any scary vibe like the hidden clans. I know all that, but Ronril has a sensitive spot I heard rumors about. Let's torment him a bit. What about the Firemane clan? Ronril froze. His expressions darkened. Looks like I hit the spot. The atmosphere around him changed quickly, and he felt like another person. Even Seelan, the bastard that can't read the mood, whipped his scornful look away and tried to listen. Senior. Huh. Ronril woke up from whatever he remembered and looked at me. I was asking about the Firemane clan. I feigned innocence and asked. Ronril looked at me with an annoyed look. He took out his wineskin and poured some in his mouth. He clearly knew what I was doing. Firemane, huh? Are they something worth mentioning? I heard they are just some pity horse breeders, or... Seelan started running his mouth to keep up with my provocation. I guess that's the only thing he can be of use in. I felt that Ronril was glaring at him, which caused him to swallow whatever he was about to say. When you go against the Firemans, make sure to run your way instead of running your mouth. Ronril turned hostile immediately. His mood turned dire in a second. I guess it went well done, and now Seelan will take all the scorn from Ronril, or that's what I thought. Ronril just sighed and drank another mouthful. Firemans, huh? Ronril actually talked about them. They are the worst of them. Unkillable bastards. For years they were a thorn to our side. They broke the rules of the clans and participated in the Great War just because they thought one of their kin died at our hand. Without them, the Empire would have lost an equal loss to us in the last battle, and it didn't just end there. They started showing up in Hammerfell and caused a big disturbance, until that cursed day. What cursed day? 15 years ago, a woman from the Firemans got married and settled in Hammerfell. She was one of the Patriarch's daughters, and someone who killed a lot of Dominion soldiers. A rumor spread that time when I was still a newly promoted justiciar about this woman being pregnant with a dangerous child. Some sort of prophecy that was kept classified. Orders came to watch that woman until the day she gives birth and sees the child. The woman and her husband, however, were aware of our spies and disappeared without a trace for a year. until the husband, a former Blade agent, appeared in the most flashy way possible. He assaulted our ships stationed in Iliac Bay and burned everything to ash, buying enough time for his wife to run away to Cyrodiil before escaping the other way himself. A man attacked Dominion ships, burned them, and escaped? Seelan said, as if trying to mock Ronril. Yes. Ronril appeared to have no power to argue with Seelan and continued, I was assigned to chase the woman with many other soldiers. We chased her all the way to the borders and almost clashed with the Empire because of our haste and ignoring to the regulations. It was a long chase that took many days, until the day we cornered her just before she reaches Skyrim in the city of Bruma. What happened in Bruma? A bloodbath. She was not alone, as it seemed that she united herself with a friend. We thought the one or two, no matter what the number is, they can do nothing against us. We thought so, Ronril said and sank into deep thoughts once again. What happened after that? What do you think? We were like moth to flame. That woman killed many pursuing teams along with the man with her. It was one-sided. Few were lucky to survive, I was the luckiest. So you let the criminal escape? Seelan started acting like himself again. I think we went too far with Ronril today. Escape? No, we didn't, we couldn't. If that child was allowed to live, what kind of terror would he bring on us? No, we didn't stop. She was pursued into Skyrim, by the Nords themselves. We spread the rumor about the child, and all the clans cut ties with the Firemans, except for the Moonblades. But what can two clans do against the full might of all the hidden clans? The woman was cornered near Riften for weeks. No one assisted her, and even the man she brought ran away with the horses. 3 weeks later, she was found on the brink of death, and the child died from starving. When we tried to execute her, the clans retreated from the siege by an order of some monks who live on High Hrothgar. They are called the Greybeards. Our force clashed with the Firemans, and we couldn't hold on, so we had to hand her over to stop the fight, which later proved to be a big mistake. Mistake. Yes, if we killed that woman that day, we wouldn't have suffered her wrath after that. What did that woman do? She burned the sea. Burn the sea. I think I heard about this somewhere. Are you talking about the Bloody Hilda? Ronril nodded and didn't say anything. The Bloody Hilda, the pirate who clashed with the Bloodsails clan and the Dominion ships for years in the northern waters. It was almost 14 years ago when she appeared. She killed and burned a lot of ships. The Empire itself had to interfere to stop her. This was a big accident and many losses were recorded. It was said that rare treasures fell into her hand. It was also said that she burned the ships she looted and never spared anyone. So the Bloody Hilda was our doing. The official reports said nothing about that. Indeed, letting such a woman live was a mistake. It seems that this clan is annoying beyond reason. I will admit that what Ronril said was right. We need to destroy the big pillars before taking down the house. You actually believe all that nonsense? Justiciar Ronril, why don't you think about retirement? You are that old, you know. Seelan couldn't resist being and shutting his trap for a second. Not even Ronril was in the mood to look at him, yet he was still yapping. Don't worry, Justiciar Ronril, the moment I see one of these filthy Firemane Nords or whatever, I'll stick an arrow in. UUGH. Huh. What was that? Seelan fell from his horse on the ground. Everyone got alerted. I looked at him, and there was an arrow piercing through his neck, a spectral arrow from the Bound Bow spell. Seelan is very dead. Ambush! Ronril shouted, but it was already too late. The land around us exploded, and a lot of frost atronachs appeared around the group. What is this? Who can do such a thing in this place? There was no time to breathe. We were surrounded and it looked dangerous. Circle formation. Hurry! Laerenor, don't just stand there, kill these atronachs, use magic. Ronril started shouting at me. Damn it! I almost panicked. I jumped from my horse, ran into the formation. It's better to be behind their shields in such a situation. Just as I was preparing a lightning spell to deal with the Atronachs, ice magic started pouring from the archer's direction. How many are there? I don't know, just don't get rid of these Atronachs first, then we can retreat. This is madness. How could these Nords prepare such an ambush? Was there anyone traveling on the road and ended up helping them? That is not the time. I need to take care of this. THD soldiers stood their ground, but the power of the Atronachs was overwhelming. The arrows started hunting us, and the frost magic came from between the Atronachs. As we barely managed to take down half of the Atronachs, we lost half of our men. Finally, the ones casting frost magic appeared. I can't believe what I am seeing. Undead. Never seen the likes of them before. What is going on here? Who are we up against? Eheha! Something strange appeared. A rider on a burning horse. No, that's a flame Atronach that looked like a horse. He was rushing like mad and broke the formation. His target is Ronril. He held a spectral spear and took Ronril by surprise. Ronril's chest wad pierced and carried away by the rider. No time to waste. The rider left a hole in the formation, enough for me to run. I will just run. The rider pinned Ronril on the ground, and his hood moved down, revealing his red hair. They were saying something to each other. I don't care now. I must run. On me. This way. Retreat. I rallied the remaining soldiers. I need as many meat shields as possible. This rider will be troublesome to face. With some effort, I took about 10 men and broke in a run. This is not turning well. The rider is already on us, and there is also another one shooting arrows. I cast haste on myself. I need at least some speed and be faster than the others. This bad. Very bad. I am getting tired. The best place for me to run now is to slide on that small slope. They won't follow me on horses there. This is better. I think I lost them. But I am all alone now. I need to run back to the ship. It would take days. Easy, calm down. I have to be strong. I walked and walked. I could feel a presence. I need to be alert. I evoked magic and approached quietly. Nothing was here, just a small wild animal. This is as far as you go, Thalmor. We tracked you for days. A voice came from behind. When? How? Someone sneaked on me. It is the voice of a girl. I don't know who are you be you. Save your threats for someone who has time to hear them? Now speak, where are your men? And the people you chased? This is bad. We were being tracked. But they don't seem to be with the one made the ambush. Think. I have to distract her, then take her as a hostage. I'll talk, then I'll cast magic on her. This is the best plan. Listen. If you are painful. Why? She dare. My hands. You bitch. You cut off my. It hurts. My hands. No. I can't face her. This monster. Run. I need to run. I can't do this anymore. I just have gods. Why? Why did he catch up? John's POV. 3 justiciars on horses, 30 Thalmor soldiers on foot. Such a force. They walked into the trap and everything is turning out well, but they may survive. I don't want them to survive. I had to take down a justiciar with an arrow first. These are the most annoying kind of Thalmor. Something like the law enforcers that act as judge, jury, and executioner. The most annoying thing about them is their magical power. One can't just allow them to live. The system helped in assessing the situation too by detecting the energy from them. Thalmor Justiciar LV-27. Thalmor Justiciar LV-20. Thalmor Justiciar LV-22. Thalmor Soldier LV-12. Thalmor Soldier LV-14. And so on. I managed to take down the LV. 22, but Jull couldn't get a hit on any of the other two, and they ended up taking down half of the Atronach. Not good. I can't let this continue. Jull, cover me. I'll go wreak some havoc. She nodded and I jumped on the fire horse and cast Bound Spear. Only one Justiciar was nearly unguarded, and that was the LV-27 one. Let's take him down. Ee-hee-ha. I made a charge. Feels like fun. Between this, behind that, coming through. Excuse me, and arg. One skewered Thalmor Justiciar for you. Ho ho. Bastard is putting resistance. You just have to die, sir. I took the poor elf on my spear and pinned him on the ground. This time the spear must have gone through his heart. He was dying under the fire horse while taking the spear in his chest. Must have looked cinematic from a third-person view. Screenshot. Confirmed. Please choose a generic name, dammit. The others saw the strongest one among them die in this state and broke into a run. Wait for me. Red hair. The Justiciar I took down was still clinging to life and held my spear. Red hair. Blue eyes. Fire. Mane. Why are those guys so famous? First the pirate and now him? Anyway, nice to meet you. I mocked him, but his face looked grimmer. He was dying anyway. Can't let you live, he said while trying to evoke magic. Too bad. I evoked Force Bullet as it was my fastest spell and cast at his head 3 times. Looking at him. Yep. Very dead. Disfigured and all. Don't waste the time here. Let's kill the rest. Jull was excited as ever. Killing is her hobby after all. Let's go. I rode faster than Jull, who rode slower to shoot her arrows easier, and also was pulling move our luggage horse. The Thalmor were dispersed and didn't even organize their escape. They were easy to hunt. The last one was the female Justiciar. She seemed to have slid on a small snow slope. Well, not bad. I will follow her on foot then. Jull, go around the slope and be careful, pinpoint me. Jull cast pinpoint on me so she can feel my location. Our cooperation is the best. Now, let's get this little Thalmor. On the slope I am sliding, wee. That was fun. Let's look for that one. Is she here? Nope. There? Nope. Where did she g? Yuwa-aya. There. Something must have caught her before me. Gotta be careful here. You bitch. You cut off my... Yuwa. Wow. A girl did that. Scary. She has 2 swords. Curved swords. Now I can't let her see my face. Let's just put the face cover for now. I show myself up, but the Thalmor Justiciar girl tried to run my way only to see me and fall on her knees. Too much for that elven superiority, isn't? I couldn't help but mock. The girl with swords looked at me, and she appeared to have put a white face veil too. But, Dom. Black hair, pale skin, and red eyes. W.L. met? I said, completely forgetting the Justiciar girl I was planning to kill. The girl nodded to my greeting silently. She is the same height as me, tall for a girl, wearing an expensive-looking classy white robe, and looked so calm and peaceful, unlike what she did. Cutting someone's hands like this was brutal. I was chasing this Thalmor Justiciar or whatever. Really was going to kill her. Well, if you want to kill her you can go ahead, or we can kill her together, or let me kill her. What do you think? I still need information about her team and the people they were chasing, the girl said in a very enchanting voice. I was not sure of what kind of girl that is. Already taken care of. Met the people less than an hour ago, and gave them directions to the Shrine of Azura. I said, of course I killed of her team. The girl raised her brows and looked at me, not believing what I said. The Thalmor girl, however, rushed at me screaming, you demon. I kicked her abdomen and sent her on her butt. They killed all these Nords and now is calling me a demon for returning the favor. Reminded me of my past world all of a sudden. Will we let her bleed out or kill her? I asked. By all means, be my guest. The girl gave her blessing. Okay. A painful death it is. Smile. I approached the Thalmor girl who was looking at me with all the hate in the world and raised my fist. I was finally trying this spell on a living target. I evoked my original expert level spell, Thunder Cookie. My right fist turned shining with a bzzzt, and I punched at the girl. Boom. It was splendid. The Thalmor girl's upper half was nowhere to be seen, and a cloud of light snow formed around the place but went down rapidly. Ha ha. That was one painful death. I was proud of what I did. The swords girl looked at me and was shocked. I am not sure, but that was a painless death? She said. What? Really? Yeah, it took less than a second. Come on. I was dispirited. I mean, look at the mess it caused. How can that be painless? Well, I guess everyone has his own standards of pain. She is right. I like her attitude. Anyway, after that kill, all that is left was a boy with red hair, a girl with red eyes, and a trail of red blood in between. Chapter 77, Mount Anthor. John's POV. The scene didn't change much. Just me, the girl, and the corpse, half-corpse. The only thing that was added to the scene was 1, 2, 3, 12, 13. 13 more figures dressed in white and covering their faces. They appeared out of nowhere just a few seconds after I blew the justiciar into bloody goo. Their looks were unique yet similar to each other. I haven't seen an eye color like this before, but it may be light gray, don't know. They also are holding strange weapons. Some look like warpicks and others have chains in them. Kinda looked like ninja weapons, but I know ninja weapons and these clearly are not. The people themselves gave off the air of Nords, but they didn't act like Nords, which made me not so sure if they are Nords or another race. But it is a weird scene nonetheless. A girl with red eyes and looks like a lady from a prestigious family, standing and guarded by 13 weird shinobi-like people who probably share the same ancestry. Are you all right, young miss? Don't worry, he means no harm. She spoke up for me. More than that, when she did, they eased up a bit and showed less hostility to me. Still. How do you know that? I asked in a smug way. The girl looked at me and I could feel her smile behind the veil. I can tell, she said. I couldn't hide my tired mentality. Perfect. Another weirdo. They people showed no reaction except for one. Insolent. Apologize or I'll make you. He came out and pointed a short blade at me. The others sighed and shook their heads. Apparently, his actions are out of their norm. I looked at the guy and he seemed to be in a close age to me. His posture and weapon-holding technique are new to me. Looked interesting. Point that away before you injure yourself, boy. A voice came from behind me. That was Joel aiming her bow at him. The situation got frozen for a few seconds, but someone broke the ice. Stop embarrassing yourself, you fool. A girl's voice came from one of the white figures. The guy didn't back off and pressed further. Yeah, stop embarrassing yourself and apologize immediately. Huh. Sigh. I was talking to you, Icebrain. The girl spoke once again. Huh. The boy got taken aback, as it seemed he didn't expect it. He was at a loss from embarrassment now. Don't think about it too much, I said. Wah. I don't need you to comfort me. He shouted at me. The situation was fun. I kinda see that these people are not that shady as the look. Still, I guess I can't stay like this all day. There is some stuff I want to do. I guess it all went well, but I need to be on my way now if you excuse me. I turned around and pointed to Joel. Wait, the red-eyed girl called. The people that were being chased, please lead us to them. She seemed concerned about them. Fine, I am going back to them anyway. She nodded and whispered something to her people. Some of them ran and brought some horses a minute later. I think we need to hurry. You and your friend can share the ride with us huh? She was speaking to me but suddenly halted and looked to the side. The others also followed her gaze on guard. I was not detecting anything weird from that direction. It was just Joel bringing back the fire horses. Aha! So this girl has a good detection ability too. I felt I looked down on her a little bit. System. Show their levels. The girl was LV-19er, that's stronger than me. The boy that acted hostile towards me was LV-16. The others varied between LV-30 and LV-15. This is some serious force. Some of them were even stronger than the justiciars. Anyway, Joel came with the fire horses and some commotion happened between these people. They clearly didn't see this one coming. I jumped on my horse and looked expressionlessly at them. It took them a moment to process what happened and rode in their horses silently. Who are these people? Joel came close and asked. In the same time, the boy who showed hostility towards me approached the red-eyed girl and asked, "Who is that person?" I and the girl could hear from a long distance, so we looked at each other with curiosity. I have no idea. Alina's POV. We rode with haste towards the direction that mysterious young man guided us to. I was really in a hurry to finish the mission entrusted to me by the elders, but it seemed that this young man has already done the deed. He said he has taken care of it alone. I don't know how powerful he is, but he clearly showed it off on purpose when he killed that justiciar, maybe overkilled, I don't know anymore. All I can tell that he didn't lie to me. The only problem is, he is very unpredictable. Unpredictable people show many future possibilities and are hard to read. Well, he can't lie in front of my eyes, so I guess there is no harm. After all, unpredictable people are the most interesting. More than that, this horse he is riding is clearly an Atronach. An Atronach that can reshape itself is only mentioned in tales of the Three Banners War during the Planemeld. Planemeld, an event that occurred the Elder Scrolls Online. This was done by Molagbal when he tried to drag Nirn out of Mundus and take it to his realm. During the Planemeld, it was said that some conjurers could achieve this degree of controlling an Atronach and forcing it to take the form they want. Best guess is, this young man is from a very prestigious faction that has excelled in the conjuration school. Maybe the children of Hafra, but these people don't come here. The nearest place that provides practice to conjuration is the College of Winterhold, but those are part of the outside world, and we have a good relationship with them. I need to start learning how to scry from now on. But it is also another lost art. While I was sinking into my thoughts, my clansmen halted their horses, which alerted me. There seems to be something ahead. I saw 3 of Frost Atronachs standing ahead and guarding a place. Please give me a second. The young man jumped from his horse and went to them. He then started banishing them back to oblivion. He is good, the team leader said. I can see that too. The team leader is just temporary working under me, but he is the one who is actually giving orders. As the third young miss, my role is only to act solemn and look pretty. Anyway, the young man seemed to have done and signaled us to come ahead. Young man, you really took all of them on your own? The team leader asked. Nothing really special, I just hit a lot of Frost Atronachs around and they walked right into the trap. Well done. The team leader said, Listen, these elves have a lot of quality armor and some valuables, I will offer you a good price for them. Fine. The young man agreed without thinking. Good. You. Loot the bodies, burn them. 3 of the team went down and started the work, the rest of us kept following the young man. Not long later, we caught up with the Talos worshippers. They looked fine. Sir Mage, you are back, did you find the Thal? Who are these people? One man stepped up quickly but halted when he saw us. The young man glared at us and his hand touched his sword. I guess I had to mention this before. Damn it, I forgot to tell. Ahem. Wilmet, I am a traveler and these are my guards. This morning we came across a boy who was wounded in the snow. His name was Volker and he said that Thalmor were chasing his family, so we rallied to aid. Volker is alive. Talos bless you, my lady, where is he? He is back at the camp with some of my guards, you can rest assured. This was not completely true, but also I didn't lie. We found the boy in the clan's territory, and when we found out that some Talos worshippers were in distress along with a Thalmor infiltration to our land, this had to be responded at with firmness. We also carried some orders and supplies for the matter of those people. But the problem occurred quickly, or I guess this was only natural. These people have already decided to escape to Windhelm and be protected by Ulfric's Stormcloak. This will cause problems in the long run. We can ask the Firemane clan to take them in, but that needs a prior contact even though they are our sworn allies. What a headache! As I was thinking of a way out of this, the young man took part in the conversation. Sigh. You can just go to Winterhold. Winterhold? This place is doomed within a few years, doesn't he know that? The people tried to tell him this, but he said, I wasn't going to help in this matter, but if you folk went to Windhelm, you may cause a political problem. Don't ask about the details, but you can actually go to Winterhold. The place started to change 3 months ago. Some fellow rebuilt a part of the old town. He is looking for people to work for him there. Take this token to Winterhold and ask for Trudvar or Mistress Elishka. Tell them what happened and everything will be fine. He didn't lie. My eyes told me that. This is news to me and clearly news to the whole clan. Winterhold is under the mercy of the Bloodsails clan. Even the college doesn't operate openly in the town. If someone managed to control that puppet of a Jarl, then the town can be liberated. I looked at the team leader and we both understood what needs to be done. We will also send 2 men with you to Winterhold. This is the number we can spare for now, as we are under an important mission at the moment. The team leader said. Whoever that person is, we must make contact with him. This is clearly of great importance. This young man is indeed from the college. He wanted to hide it, but indeed we are lucky to meet him. I can't thank him enough now. After this and that we parted with the Talos worshippers and said our thanks to the young man. He got paid for the elven armor we looted, and he seemed to want to part quickly. Sigh. Interesting people are indeed rare. I guess I'll take this guard and pay the sacred ground a visit before I go back to my boring clan. John's POV. I hate to put my identity into situations like these. I had to help the worshippers of Talos by preventing them from going to Ulfric. This is a headache, but it was worth it. Problem is, these white shinobi-like people and the red-eyed girl may figure something out about me. I hate this. I have a phobia regarding my identity leak. This is something that was hammered into me by Uncle Delvin himself. He taught me the importance of secrecy when it comes to dealing with people, and also the importance of fame. That's why my name as John Dare is my famous one, the one I look good in. And even though I don't want anyone to find out about me now, yet I had to put it on the line for the sake of those people. To tell the truth, I shouldn't have acted. I could only give directions to Winterhold and nothing more. But when I saw the red-eyed girl giving a distressed look like that, I felt the urge to act. Did I really have to be the hero? Stupid. Stupid. You are no hero. Aya. My brain is overheating right now. Hooman. Want a kiss, Naya? Nefertiti woke up and is making a cute face. Sigh. Not angry anymore. Can't be. Yes, please kiss me. Naya, you kiss me, Naya. Hooman. If you kiss me, Naya, you be happy, Naya. What's with that logic? Kiss me, Naya. Fine. Here. See, you feel good, Naya. Just stuff this in your mouth and go sleep. I gave her a dried fish and put her back in the basket. She became really cheeky. Me too. Jull rode beside me. Want a fish? No, kiss me. Sigh. This will not end. After half a day of fast riding, we reached our destination. Mount Anthor. Mount Anthor is a mountain southwest of Winterhold and west of the Shrine of Azura. Ancient Nords built a word wall just a few meters beneath the summit of the mountain. The mountain is most famous as the site of the battle between Olaf One-Eye and the dragon Numenex during the War of Succession. Olaf One-Eye was the Jarl of Whiterun at that time. After the death of the last king of Iskramor's dynasty, a civil war broke out between the holds and the victor was Olaf. One of his deeds was slaying Numenex, a dragon that was told to be a foul-tempered one that wiped out entire villages, burned cities and killed countless Nords. I came for this place for only one reason: the word wall. A word wall is a wall etched with a set of words in the dragon language. Multiple word walls can be found in various locations throughout Skyrim. In the game, on each word wall, one of these words may be highlighted. A highlighted word is a word of power. It is associated with a certain shout the player can use in the game. Most importantly, the word walls out in the mountains are dragon lairs. I can consider that my arrival at such a place is already an attempt to gain the words before the dragons come back to the world. As I arrived to the place, it appeared as a large yard with few stones here and there, as well as a long stairway that leads to a higher area in the mountain. I found some burial urns and some flowers here and there. Apparently, some Nords cremated their dead kin and kept the burial urns here. This may be some sacred grounds now. Anyway, I need to copy the words on the wall and be on my way. I walked through the place in respect for the buried dead and advanced to the stairway immediately. On the top of the ridiculously long stairway, I found the word wall. A half-circular stone carved in the mountain with Nordic decorative carvings on the top and draconic alphabetical runes all along the wall. This is it. Just what I was looking for. What is that nonsense? Jull approached the wall and looked at the characters she did not understand. You ignorant! This wall is priceless. The amount of knowledge recorded here can't be valued with a normal human sense of value. What do you mean? Every word on this wall is a possible word of power, but there is only one I am looking for right now. It should call for me. Where is it? Will this be like the game where the word calls for the player, or I should find it on my own? I reel. Wait. Here. This word is emitting power. This word is 4 runes, I recognize them. It is Eselian. If I remember, it means flesh. Eselian is the second word of the ice form shout. It is Eingzi Eselian Nus, which means ice flesh statue. It is a Thursdayum to freeze the opponent solid. I haven't practiced this Thursdayum yet, but it's ridiculously strong. One can turn a man into a solid ice statue, a mammoth onto a preserved mammoth. It may be used in preserving food. Okay, I'll stop right here. There is already a spell for that. Anyway, I need to understand this word like in the game. Any ideas? Should I call the augur? No, not yet. I'll just channel Magicka to the word. Let's see. What is this? Why does it? Wah. Arg. John, are you okay? Can you hear me? I can hear Jull, but I feel I can't. My flesh. This is the flesh. The word is affecting me. Huff, huff. That was extreme. I fall on my butt after this experience. I understood. The flesh. It was like this after all. My head gained a lot of knowledge. I gained an understanding of the term of flesh. Not a human understanding, but a dragon understanding. This was strange. The flesh to the dragons is something entirely different than mortals. What a profound way of thinking. I can't even describe it in mortal language. Scary. I am all right now. What was that just now? I gained some knowledge. Sigh. Jull sighed. I told you studying is be harmful. This idiot, well, whatever. Anyway, I'll copy these words on the wall in dragon language. For your sake, and if you one day want to learn the Thursdayum, write what I am going to say. I stood and started copying the words on the wall in Draconic alphabet while Joel was copying after me with the common alphabet. After we finished, she handed me her note and I started correcting her mistakes and writing a translation. The final product is this. Underscore 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 underscore. Non-vol bron demasayan dar rat duefen fodiz bjormoren. Pierusen diwien el carich arke kreninuzi slenduvaza musi los indugavioen. Noble Nords, remember these words of the Whorefather: even best steel may bend and break, but flesh of true men is unyielding. Underscore 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 underscore. These words are legit from the wiki. It looked good. I may create my own Thursdayum one day with words like this. I double-checked the words and packed things up. As we were finishing up, we heard a voice calling, "Who dares trespass the sacred grounds of Clan Moonblade?" Chapter 78, Alina's Scheme. John's POV. Who dares trespass the sacred grounds of Clan Moonblade? Seriously? Hey Joe, who are those Moonblades? No idea. I was taken aback by that loud voice. It was a bit familiar, but I didn't really remember whose voice it is. It was of a young man, and carried a hint of being irradiated. Looking around, I saw someone walking through the ruins around the stairway that I was walking down. Once our eyes met, we recognized each other immediately, even though we were cowering our faces. Oh, it's Icebrain. You. The one I saw was Icebrain, one of those shinobi in white with the red-eyed girl. He is the one who raised a short sword at me. What are you doing here? This is the sacred grounds of our clan. He was talking to me in irritation. That's so. Clan Moonblade. Did I hear correctly? Yes. Sorry, I didn't see any sign or marking saying this is your clan's ground. And if that's the case, then why is it not guarded? This. He clearly has no idea. What's wrong, Skywalker? Sky. What now? The one who said that was someone who just popped into the scene. It is the red-eyed girl. My lady, these two are trespassing the sacred grounds. Do you realize that you look like a kindergarten kid who is complaining to his teacher about another kid? Sigh. I am not sure what is going on here, but I had completely no idea this was some clan's sacred grounds. The girl looked at me and nodded. How understanding. I am sure the grounds are normally unguarded, but we left few banners here and there to mark the area. Skywalker remembered something and said, "He is clearly displeased with me. I indeed saw some old banners, but they really looked too old to be used for any purpose," I said, "and with all due respect, I have never heard of your clan before. That aside, these grounds used to be dragon lairs, and 4 years from now, they will return to their rightful owners. Just don't bother." Is that so? The red-eyed said while frowning. Then let me ask you a question. Did you lay a hand on anything in these grounds? What a question. I didn't steal anything and I didn't go near the burial urns. This was the truth. You said the truth, but you didn't answer the question. She was covering her face, but I think she was grinning. I may have picked a flower from there. She frowned again after I said that. Interesting. So that's how it works. You are a mystic. I arrived at a conclusion. This girl has a natural gift in mysticism. She can detect lies. People with inborn talent is mysticism. How vexing. Based on her eye color that is different from the rest of her clansmen, she is clearly something special among them, not just in status but in talent too. Furthermore, I learned she is from a clan called Moonblade. I guess I know about her as much as she knows about me now, probably. The girl looked at me with her enchanting eyes, as if she was amused by what she heard. How dare you talk like this? You will pay for disrespecting Lady Crimson Moon. Contrary to all of our expectations, the fellow called Skywalker drew his blade and rushed at me. Even the girl who apparently is called Crimson Moon was surprised and tried to stop him. He was clearly intending to start a fight with me from the very beginning. And on top of all that, he has already said the magic word. Even if you are a Daedric prince, don't you ever dare me. Dare is my cern. I was going to say the famous quote I say every time someone dares me, but I was interrupted by Jull's action. She unsheathed her short sword and rushed to clash with Skywalker. That Skywalker was clearly well trained. His level was equal to Argyr in both terms of speed and power. However, what surprised me the most was his use of martial arts. In this world, martial arts are rare, and from what I researched, they are only used by those who can harness their aura. The moves he showed are really interesting. Still, nothing to impress me. Jullinar is both faster and stronger than him, and the techniques that I taught her are superior to his move. He used also one short blade at first, but when he got pressed by Jull, he took out another blade. Eventually, both of them started using the twin blade style. His weapon techniques, on the other hand, is better than Jull's. It appeared as if it was hammered into him since young age. I was getting fed up with the meaningless fight, so I decided to stop them with magic, but I felt a strong gaze on me. That Crimson Moon was staring at me as if she will move as soon as I move. I guess this is going to drag out for a big fight now. I used the Flames spell, the most basic novice-level flame spell, just to see what this girl is made of, but the result was not clear. She used frost magic, and we got entangled in our own magic duel. I didn't go hard on her from the start, but she started pushing fiercely. This level of pushing fiercely meant nothing to me. I was just trying to see the limit of a hidden clan youngster. If I have to assess her level based on the college's ranking, then she can be considered a Destruction Scholar rank. You are good, conjurer, she said. Let's get serious. Until now, we were using only one hand and the spell clash area looked as if we were equal. Only because I wanted to. But this girl now added her free hand and dual cast the spell at me. The duel was turning to her favor and my spell was being pushed back. Only because I wanted to. Use your other hand. She wanted me to face her seriously, but I only found that cute. I couldn't help but smile. I adjusted the magicka output and stopped her push with only one hand cast. She looked a bit confused, but in her mind, she clearly was justifying it to herself. I guess I should end this. I pushed her back with a strong channeling that made her open her beautiful red eyes wide open. She thought she can push me based on her natural talent in magic, but I crushed her expectation. A few seconds later she was at her limit and her spell was a finger's length of getting completely suppressed. Just to not harm her, I cancelled her magic and mine at the same time, yet it still pushed her back a bit. I almost saw a beautiful face under the veil she covered her face with, but too bad she was far. No. Skywalker panicked during his duel with Jull and pushed her away. He then ran towards me to stop me from harming his clan's young lady. I didn't want to deal with using magic, so I received him with a kick, then disarmed him, added some punches and kicks, and he was ready to be served on the ground. We submit? The girl said, we will not fight you. I looked at the boy on the ground and said, because of your impulsive actions you brought hardships to your lady and may have brought her harm. I hope this serves as a lesson. I tried to say something nice just to look righteous. These kids are from a hidden clan, and I am not sure if they will leave me be if I acted with haughtiness now. No, this is my fault, Crimson Moon said. I had to stop him when I had the chance, not to join him. I got excited, I truly apologize. Really no need, I understand. Can I ask you something? Ahem. By all means. Your talent in the magic casting is clearly very superior. I was wondering, are you a conjurer or a pyromancer, fire mage? Me? I am a mystic. The girl was shocked once again. She stared into space and started thinking. What about the fighting techniques you used just now? That's my own style. She turned speechless. Meanwhile, Skywalker got up from the ground and looked at me. What can I call you with? This Skywalker was asking like this for my name. Fine. You can call me Darth Vader, I said, barely suppressing my laughter. Darth Vader, next time, I am not losing, he declared, as if he was supposed to be an equal from the start. Whatever you want. Sir Darth, you can call me Crimson Moon of the Moonblade clan. I have witnessed your skill and recognized it. Would you accept my offer to join Clan Moonblade? Crimson Moon spoke as if she was offering me a piece of heaven. My lady, you can't be serious. We don't even know his background. Skywalker. I will leave that for the elders to decide. Crimson Moon. But my lady, this matter will get worse if some. Skywalker. That's my final say. Crimson Moon. Ahem. Excuse me, but I am not interested? Me. What? How dare you refuse an offer from the lady? Skywalker. I advise you against using the word dare with him. It triggers him to do the complete opposite. Joel. Humph. Fine, I dare you to join my clan. Crimson Moon. Not interested. Me. Hooman is only mine, Naya. Nefertiti. That's right, tell them, Nefertiti? Me. Wah. So cute. Crimson Moon. No touching. Me. Please. Crimson Moon. Nope. Me. Pretty please. Crimson Moon. Nope. Me. How dare you refuse my lady's request? Skywalker. Does this guy even learn? Me. Crimson Moon, Joel. Alina's POV. After a while of argument, I managed to pat that cat. She was so fluffy. Nothing fluffy grows in Skyrim, but that was the fluffiest cat I have ever seen. Not long after, Darth Vader and his companion hit the road and left. I was greatly depressed after he refused my offer. Someone with this talent can bring change to the clan and may cause us to thrive further. I am sure that he is someone from the College of Winterhold. His magic skill gives off his rank as a wizard. He clearly is a famous figure there. Even the girl with him was talented and had a sharp atmosphere around her. They didn't use aura in the fight, but neither did we. It appeared that we are nearly the same age, but they could exert out more ability than us. The magic of Darth was simply strong. Stronger than me by levels. I was being blocked as if I was facing a mountain. Moreover, his bare-handed skill was superior to the clan's common techniques and equal to the secret arts. Lucky for him, the Skywalker with me is not very perceptive, but I could see the power and potential in it. He didn't lie to me about his specialty as a mystic, but there was clearly more to it. He also didn't lie about his fighting technique. His name, however, was a complete hoax. Even I didn't need using my eyes to tell. He is a walking pile of interest. I can't get him out of my head now. Next time, I am not losing to him. Skywalker Svakin was excited too. I am not sure how your ice brain and hothead cooperate with each other in such harmony. This guy was so simple. Svakin is a childhood friend of mine, and he rose to the rank of Skywalker lately. Ahem. Excuse me, Lady Alina, but how will we report this to the elders? Report? Are you mad? I forbid you from uttering a single word about what happened here. I said hastily. Why is that? I don't think any problem shall arise if we reported anything. Of course there will be problems. How can I tell him this? How do you think the elders will react when they find out I was defeated by a young man like him? I don't understand. It all went well. Wait. You can't be speaking of that. Of course, he defeated me in my strong point with complete ease. This is my chance. No, Alina. I mean, my lady, this can't happen. It may affect our relationship with the firemen's. Humph. Listen here. My future will be decided by me, not whatever clan or whatever elder. I said that before and I declared my decision in front of the whole clan, and they agreed. Technically they were forced to agree, but they still agreed. Of course, I won't drag myself into a situation I can't deal with, so we are going to investigate him thoroughly. From now we should get ready. I am joining the College of Winterhold. Bounce. Black small square premonition. My ear is ringing. Me. Which ear? Joel. The left. Me. Someone is planning trouble for you. Joel. What about the right? Me. Someone is feeling good about you. Joel. What happens if it is the two at the same time? Me. Then you are being dragged in a scheme by someone who likes you. Joel. Chapter 79 A Call for Help. Important announcement in Author Thoughts. We said our goodbyes to the Moonblade boy and girl, then headed directly west along with the mountain range that links between the holds of the Pale and Winterhold. Our goal is to travel swiftly and with haste to Wayward Pass, a passage between the mountains that leads from the snow wastes north the mountains to the plains and the forests in the south. This pass normally has no travelers and it didn't have any bandits or monsters in the game, but unlike the game, places like this should have something like that. Luckily for us, flame Atronach horses scare the shit out of bandits and beasts. The ride continued smooth to the west, and we took turn when we spotted the pass. There is no road in this place, but the path was cleared up and we could pick up the pace. The path went up until we reached a narrow path that extended for a short ride that took nothing but 15 minutes. During the ride, we saw skeletal remains of beasts and men hanged on the walls and was put in a weird and spooky manner. There was also an altar and a shrine that belonged to two of the divines called Arche. Anyway, the path continued, but the sun had already set. Traveling at night is madness, but camping in this kind of place was not something I would want to do. We rode full speed ahead for the first time on the journey. Joel fell in love with how fast the flame Atronach horse can run. It was a thrilling experience but needed a lot of control. After a while, we reached the plains south of the mountains and started to take it easy. We kept using the night vision spell and kept headed south until we reached a road. Took us a while to find a road sign. It took a while, but it all went well. My destination was the Nightgate village, a village that was built around a traveler's inn and was considered part of the Pale, but it has a unique location between the three holds of the Pale, Winterhold, and Eastmarch. I was traveling to this inn as the first stop of my training plan. Around the inn, there were some interesting locations and places I intend to visit. To the east, there are Forsaken Cave and Ygrimme Overlook Ruin. To the northwest, where we are coming from, are Ironbind Barrow and Silverdrift Lair. To the west, there is a grove called Shrouded Grove. And finally to the southeast, there is Corvinjund Ruins. All these places are locations of great interest for those who know the value and the secrets in them. Most of them are ancient Nordic ruins of past eras. Only Shrouded Grove is just a natural site and a place where I expect to find a troll in. During the coming months, I intend to conquer as much as I can of these places. Some of them are pretty dangerous and some enemies are just impossible to face in such a place to the current me, but with a great plan, I'll conquer them clean. I reviewed these plans with Julliner as we approached the inn. Once we detected signs of human activity, we banished the flame Atronach horses and switched to walking. Mages like myself are treated coldly in these parts while adventurers are always welcomed. I prefer the adventurer treatment this time. Walking into the village, it was already night but the villagers were awake and the patrolling guards spotted us. They treated us suspiciously, but as I declared my identity as an adventurer, I was welcomed and guided to the inn. The inn was the center of the town. There are some lumbering workers and a herbalist in the village, but all worked for the inn in the end. After I entered the inn, I noticed that like many other taverns, Nightgate Inn consists of a huge taproom with a fireplace in the center and the counter at the opposite end of the room from the entrance. A few wooden tables are scattered around the taproom, all of them set with chairs and candles. In addition to the taproom, the inn also has some smaller rooms with beds and reserved for paying customers. When I got in, the inn was nearly empty. I found a table, but the stuff on the floor, and sat on a chair resting my aching bones. A while later, a shadow came towards us and spoke. "Ah, hello there, traveler. Come to the Nightgate for food or lodging?" The man who talked is a Nord, half-bald, and with a beard. His appearance reminded me of that NPC, the innkeep Hardling. Mead, warm food, a bit of smoked or dried fish, and a room for two. Staying the night. Nah. Been traveling for week. I'll pay for a few days up front with food and all. A week, huh? Fine, welcome to the Nightgate Inn, lad, name's Hardling. Anything you need, just holler. Thanks, I said. Tell him ol Hardling, are there any news about mages in these parts? The man frowned and made an annoyed face. Seen enough magic in my day to know to stay away from it. I'd stay away from the Jarl's wizard in Dawnstar too. If you want to be a damn fool, go to the college in Winterhold instead. I knew it. I thanked the man and waited for the food. Looking around the inn, I spotted some old people sitting here and there. I was looking for someone in particular, but I couldn't recognize him out. Sigh. Guess I'll take it the slow way. After all, from now until the coming month, I am a resident of the Nightgate Inn. Some time later in solitude. Tink 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 tink. This piece is good. Should I do it this way as I normally do, or should I carve it the way John likes? I am getting dizzy and it is almost night. I should clean myself up before Sviti and Bjorna come from the college. The workshop is in the shadow of Castle Dour. The place started swarming with customers a month ago, and the Imperial Legion started to make all sorts of requests as if a blacksmith was born with 10 hands. If John was here, he would have already beaten me up and dragged me somewhere to drink. My brother hates this kind of jobs, but I guess he will be fine whatever he does. Nothing beats in both having fun and doing jobs too. Still, he's a fool when it comes to iron and steel. He just wants to hammer the piece a few times and magically it becomes ready. He never stood things that would take a long time like blacksmithing and long combat, but strange enough, he likes alchemy and hunting. Guess I never know how his head is working. Sigh. I somewhat miss his never-ending jokes about dragons. Speaking of dragons, Bjorna likes them very much too. Is it something that has to do with redheads? Sigh. You are sighing like John now? A voice came from behind me. Well, I was thinking about him. I replied without looking. This was my sister. If Bjorna heard you, she may get jealous of him, you know. Wow, what is this girl saying? Haha, you blushed. Sviti started acting like a fool. It started recently when she was accepted as a student of some famous bard. I am worried about her, but something is telling me not to. Bjorna started accompanying her lately, so I guess she will be fine. I am sorry, is this the workshop where Wolfer works? A young man of my age and height came through the door. He looked at me and his eyes lit up. Ah, here you are. I feel like I know him. He looks like some warrior and smells like the sea. Isn't that Angium? Yes, you remembered me. Haha. He started laughing and became delighted once he saw me. Well, I am called Captain now. Ha! He said while grinning. What would bring this guy here? He got along with John but not with me. To whom do we owe the pleasure, Captain Angium? Ha ha! To Boss John, of course. Boss? Sviti was taken aback. John? I was taken aback. Ha ha! Don't treat me coldly now, come on. Well, come in. I invited him into the shop and offered him a seat and some mead. To tell you the truth, I wasn't supposed to contact you until 3 months from now when you want to go to Winterhold and meet up with the boss. but I might need your help sooner than expected. Just tell us what's going on first, and why do you call my brother your boss? It happened 4 months ago. The boss literally changed our lives. One day he came to Dawnstar. What Angium said next was some weird story, yet it fits perfectly with what John might act. First he said that John made a challenge with the Jarl of Winterhold, then he went to Dawnstar and became an owner of a ship. He took the ship and made a clash with some cultists and pirates and escaped from the teeth of death by smashing his way through them. There was also a girl I don't recognize called Lady Julliner with him. After he did the mighty deeds, he tricked the evil Jarl and became a Thane. Then he opened some business and a bathhouse in Winterhold along with some small projects. These projects made him the most popular man in the town and became a strong figure who employed hundreds of people. All in 4 months. The boss is an absolute genius in the eyes of many, and he is the only one who can keep a dying town like Winterhold stand on its feet again. The reason for the town's dilemma are pirates, and they own the Jarl. Even if the boss could somehow trick the Jarl to leave him alone, the news would eventually be leaked to the pirates. This problem was anticipated by the boss, and he gave me a plan on how to act 3 weeks ago just before he leaves for a training journey, but an unpredicted problem happened. What is it? We had an old blacksmith in town who supplied us with all what we needed. After the first clash with the pirates, we found the old man to be not enough. More than that, he became sick a week ago. I was in charge of the town along with Trudvar the housecarl, but there was a little in what we can do, and if the students of the college helped us, their prices would exhaust the amount of money we have. After all, those are mages we are talking about. So you want me to come? I didn't think of it as the first option, but I was depressed and requested to talk with Lady Nurina, the boss's mother. She told me to come to you immediately. Mother said so? Sviti exclaimed. You too call he that? Angium was surprised. Well, only girls got to call her mother. John was the exception. Even if the headmistress didn't tell you that, you should have came to me from the beginning. My brother's affairs are my affairs. Also, you're telling me I'll be the head blacksmith, right? Well, I heard you are a very good blacksmith. Brother is one of the best. No, he is the best. Sviti stood up for me. I get it. Sigh. She starts acting childishly again. The only reason I worked here was that the pay was great and I could see Bjorna all day across the street. But if my brother is calling, then I dare not to answer. Even though I won't see Bjorna. I feel bad, but John always said a word when it comes to this situation. If I remember, it was brothers before hoes. But I don't know why did he use the hoe to describe a girl. I mean, the hoe is not that nice looking or need any creativity to make one. He should have used some good-looking tool instead. Anyway, thinking about it won't do. I'll go with Angium after I end with the owner. Hello, anyone? I heard a familiar voice. That's Bjorna. Sviti jumped from her place and went to see Bjorna. What brings her in this hour? A few seconds later, some figures came to the place I sat with Angium in. Long time, lad. This cheerful as ever voice is Aunt Scotty. She came from her clan then. Following her, another hooded figure appeared. It looked like another Aunt Scotty. I worked my mind rapidly and guessed who she is. This is the rumored sister of Aunt Scotty and the mysterious woman who first taught John how to fight. I must admit, this woman is 100 times scarier than Aunt Hilda. Even Angium stood up in respect. Aunt Scotty, WL met. Looking good, lad. Who's with you? That's Angium from the tourney. He works for John. Scotty and the other woman, who is I think is Hilda, looked at Angium, who barely looked composed. This is the owner of the store across the street, Aunt Scotty Firemain. Firemain? Angium lost his composure. Sorry. I am a captain of a small ship and work for Boss John Dare. He is. I know John. The other woman spoke. I taught him how to fight. So this is Hilda. Anyway, good to meet you, lad. Scotty cut in. We're here to take Bjorna back, but she wanted to see your sister before we go. We also wanted to see if you want to go to Winterhold. We can take you along the way. So this is how it is going. Actually, Angium came for the same purpose. It seemed that there are some complications with John's work in Winterhold. I told them what Angium told me. Silence took over for a while. So, how is the boy doing? Scotty asked while looking at Hilda. The boss would have solved any problem with no need to worry anyone. He can't be worried about, so he is mostly fine. Some people came to the town a few weeks ago saying that someone with the boss description helped them from Thalmor pursuers by killing all of them. This was the last we know about his news. Judging by his character, he managed to deal with it just fine. I am supposed to head to Winterhold tomorrow, then to Windhelm and meet him there. Seemed like he is busy. Scotty then questioned Angium about John, and every time he answered, she and Hilda would put on a small grin. Nothing was strange on my side, that was just him Johning around. The only thing on my mind was Bjorna, who would leave tomorrow. I guess I have one less reason to stay now. Sviti will finish up her studies, and I'll come to pick her up, so it wouldn't be a problem. After a while, Hilda, Scotty, and Bjorna said their farewells and left. Angium also left and I took Sviti home. On the way, we met with Battleborn, who almost cried when he knew I am going to a fight and he can't tag along. Hee. This will be fun. Important announcement in Author Thoughts. Chapter 80, The White Phail. Good morning, Skyrim. Good morning, Jelinar. Good morning, Nefertiti. Good morning, everyone. Why are you guys looking at me with those eyes? What is the matter? Shouldn't people feel energetic in the morning? I feel like I have slept for 13 days. Well, whatever. I guess I have to go eat now. It is a very important day. I will go dungeon delving with Jull over here, and it will be a piece of cake. Or so I thought. Why? Well, bandits. First of all, the cave, Forsaken Cave, was well hidden, and of course, it would be a perfect hiding place for Dirty Bandit. I didn't want to exhaust myself, so I left it for the undead. Only 9 bone men, and the bandits shit themselves and started panicking. Their boss tried to make a stand, but Jelinar took him down with an arrow. How I love her style. We are like Robin and Batman, except we are so into each other. I would have taken this girl to a showdown with mighty Little John, but she is still a minor in my eyes. Even though, I don't think I will hold out, considering how she always teases and seduces me. I spaced out in the middle of a fight. My bad. Jelinar looked at me and was grinning. She already can read my mind this much. Sigh. Anyway, let's finish the last bandit. He was wailing from the arrows that hit his arms and legs. Mercy. I beg you. Please, mercy. Nope. Swish. Yep. Bandits need no mercy. Mercy won't be an option if we switched placed anyway. Jull was all smiles. She said that the scene of me taking lives is intoxicating to her. I guess she will need another madness rehab session later. What now? Now we look for valuables before we move on. Remember to always use detect as if your life depends on it. Because it does. Of course, there may be traps from this point onward. The deadly traps, not the cute ones. A few minutes later, we gathered some coins, mead, food, and good weapons. Do we use one of the sacks we brought with us? Yes. As we did just that, I was looking around the place. I had a hunch, and there was a good chance it was true. Jull, there are more bandits in the cave ahead. She nodded and readied her bow. I also evoked lighting magic and headed into the cave. Forsaken Cave was just like Hobbs Fall Cave, an icy interior with a chilling atmosphere. What first met us was a corridor with icy walls and floor. It turned right and went down to a bigger and vaster interior. It was a bit rocky with all the ice and snow in the cave. Moving ahead, What met us was the sight of an iron door, flanked by 2 flights of stairs that lead to raised areas. Looking at them, I deduced that they contain nothing of interest. John, the door is forcefully opened, its lock is broken. Interesting. It needs either a good number of men or one hell of a brute to do this damage. What will we do? If we catch up to them, don't engage. They may leave a lot of tracks from this point onward. I don't want to hinder them at all. You don't. Of course. They are working so hard clearing the enemies and taking the traps for our sake, unless we or the dungeon get rid of them. I said while pointing at a few undead and a corpse. How can your heart bring you to ruin such a beautiful relationship? Jull smiled and shook her head. Moving through the iron door, the place changed from the icy cave to a dusty and ancient Nordic ruin. It was still cold though. Through the door is a short corridor that leads to a stairwell with a wooden spiral staircase down. At the bottom is a corridor. After moving ahead, a couple of turns opened to a wide corridor. I felt that the place was a bit strange due to some reactions in my detect. After walking along the corridor, I found a pressure plate that activates a poison dart trap from a statue-like a thing in the front. There were 2 dead bandits here. See what I am talking about? After walking beyond the trap and taking the turn, we cast night vision and things go really easier. We saw a few undead lying around here and there. Taking turns after turns and passing some traps, we also found some undead that didn't participate in the battle and fought them. Still, they were no match for my hammer, Agniare. The number of dead bandits past give, I am afraid my new friends are not doing very well here. Not that I am going to help or anything. The dungeon was going on until it reached a certain room, where I heard some voices. They seemed to be around 10 bandits, but they seemed to be in a tight situation. Another iron door blocked their path, and they were having some conflict. Some wanted to go back already. I am truly disappointed. System: Bandit LV-17, Bandit LV-21, Bandit LV-18, Bandy. I signaled to Jull and retreated back. So what's the plan? She asked. After a while, I was standing further away from the room and had my undead ready. Not long after, Jull came running from the bandits' direction. I stood there and waited until she came. Any time now. A sound of hustle came and the 10 or something bandits started rushing out looking for Jull. I was preparing an overcharged chain lightning and released it once most of them appeared. The first on got hit died before even knowing it. The second, the third, the fourth, and the ones survived got killed by the Bone Man Legion I conjured. Anything worth looking at? I asked. I think this mace is enchanted with sun damage, Jull said. At least the idiots came prepared. Take it. A sun-fire weapon is invaluable in undead-infested areas. We went back to the room and started breaking the iron door. Unlike the game, these doors are a bit hard to open and were meant to seal the tomb. I mean, why would the ones who built it put it for no reason? I used a frost atronach to bring it down. Nothing like it when we talk about being stuffed down. Banishing it, I re-summoned my undead legion once again, but this time I conjured normal ghosts. Spread ahead. That was the order I gave them. Now that I killed all the bandits, I still need some meat shield to uncover the traps and the strong enemies ahead. Unlike bone men, who I can only conjure 9 of them, ghosts are much easier to control, so I ended up conjuring 20 of them. The area beyond the door was known as Forsaken Crypt, the place I was aiming for from the start. Once the ghosts went in, traps and undead came out and obliterated them. I and Jull took our hammer and mace that can deal sun damage and took the role of finishing off the undead. There were many burial areas inside the crypt. It is a crypt after all. We were greatly outnumbered like some zombie apocalyptic movie, but it was an easy situation to get out of if I used magic. The point of this journey is to enhance my physical power, so magic will have to wait for a bit unless it was for safety. The fight was pretty much done for in a few minutes. It was hard but thrilling. I almost imagined if I had the Berserker's skills from Diablo game, it would have been awesome. After clearing the area, we took a lunch break and moved ahead back again. An accident happened when Joel stepped on a trap and its spike traps fell from above. I was a bit far and I had no way of reaching her in time. The only thing I could do was to shout "FUS" at her. She was thankfully blown away by me rather than getting honeycombed by the trap. We had to take another healing break just after 10 minutes of our lunch break. I told her not to get cocky, but I guess she does things on her own pace. After that, we got ready to go again. If my memory serves me right, the next room will be hard and I have to prepare for a big fight. There was a door which behind one had to climb some stairs and cross the caged walkway above the previous room we fought the undead horde in. At the end is a wide corridor with several statues on either side. There was some undead patrolling this area and some other in an alcove to the right of the second statue on the left. The fights were easy and we kept advancing until we reached an iron door. Breaking the door activated a set of swinging blades in the corridor ahead that leads to the final room where all the fun is waiting. Passing the traps was easy too, but the big fight is ahead. There were a single sarcophagus, a word wall, and a stairway. I evoked my new expert restoration spell and started charging it with all my might. Joel, when I tell you that I am ready, go near that sarcophagus. When it blows open, run back here. And then, she nodded. A few seconds later, the spell was fully charged. System Magica. Magica. 245/520. Damn. Just this spell took all that. Joel now. Joel approached the sarcophagus as I told, and its occupant burst forth and attacked. It was the boss of Forsaken Crypt, Master Alchemist Curelmill. Just as he came out from his resting place, he looked as ugly as the rest of the Draugr but had a high horned helm on his head. This gave out his rank as Draugr Overlord. System, this is Curelmill, Draugr Overlord LV 36. I think I underestimated the dungeon a bit. Another moment later, 4 more Draugrs came to the room. I was overcharging the new spell Ultraviolent. A sun spell that can devastate the undead, but Curelmill is a bit too powerful for the current me. Just as I had him in sight, I aimed to the best position I can affect Curelmill. Just as I made the decision, I released the spell. A missile of sunfire was launched at Curelmill, and from the contact, I saw Curelmill getting blown away, but he was not done yet. Hurry and finish the rest. Joel, who was in a daze, carried her mace and started smashing the undead. They were not as easy as the last ones, though. I was more focused on casting spells. I managed to conjure 2 Draymora churls. Mortal, we d. Shut up and fight. I have no time for their damn ego now. They are the best choice for the plan B in my head. Curelmill was standing up after it was blown away, and it seemed it is pissed. Just as he came to join the fray, I was ready for him. Back to where you came from, mate. Fuss ROW. Yep, that is the best decision right now. Keep that guy away while finishing off his cronies, then gang up on him. And speaking of which, Joel and the duo churls finished up their work. You two, pin it down. They only could follow my orders as they jumped on Curelmill like some American football players. I also joined them and cast bind on it, then jumped on them. Joel, take my hammer and smash its damn head. Hurry, we are barely keeping it down. The situation was too chaotic, but it was somehow under control. Joel took the hammer and did as I said. A minute later, its resistance was no more. Phew. That was intense. I couldn't help but sigh. You are crazy. Look who's speaking. Joel was making a tired face, but I think it went well. Now, to claim the rewards. Mortal, you. Fuck off. I banished the churls immediately, Draymora and their damn bride. I have more important business now. Where is the package? I asked. Jull went to the knapsack she carries and took out a small wooden box. Here. She handed it to me. Hee. I opened the small wooden box with all the care in the world and took out a flask from it. This flask cost me 100 golden septim. A potent mixture made by a master alchemist. See where this is going. Curelmil, the boss of this tomb, was a master alchemist and a very crafty one. He was one of the best in his craft. To open the treasure chamber in his tomb, one needed such a mixture and to pour it in an ancient bowl fixed near to Curelmil's sarcophagus, and the treasure chamber will open. Now, I am pouring the mixture in the bowl. At the end of the room, there was a word wall, under it was a passage to the treasure room. Just as I finished pouring the mixture, the whole room started to shake as if something heavy was moving. This was the door to the treasure room. Jull, let's go. She followed as I walked ahead. I didn't neglect to scan the road ahead with detect, just to give myself a peace of mind. As I entered the room, I saw a tragic scene. Hundreds of ingredients were here and there, but they turned black after hundreds of years in sealing. Some inorganic ingredients were fine though. But I am not here for gold or ingredient. I am here for the White Phail. Curelmil created a very mysterious artifact called the White Phail, a flask that can refill its content from nothing. It was made by the first snow that fell on the throat of the world, the famous summit of High Hrothgar, the tallest mountain in the world. If you give this legendary Phail a drop of health potion, it will make itself full of health potion in one day. One may think, it just creates one potion a day, what is its use even if it is so wondrous? Well, why would I make it refill a health potion if it can refill something more invaluable? And the thing about creating something from nothing is a hoax. I know it absorbs magicka and turns it into the potion. This is what I was after, and it was resting there at the end of the room on an altar. Alas! It was broken. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.